like keep the glide the complete same.
Oh, he would work. He would just work. He would just work in this game.
No, he would work. He would just work. But anyways, we're here. iitzmando versus Dark. Both the players playing A.B.A, and it looks like iitzmando is going to be getting some early confirms here. That's going to be launching that jealousy meter a little bit further than our opponent.
Yeah, dashing on in, about to run out of the Jealous Rage, and there's the button press already. Got the counter hit, but just went for a special move, unable to really capitalize on that punish.
And Dark actually making this work. We did get punished a little bit for using that jealousy meter and kind of deactivating right in front of iitzmando's face, but we've been really bringing it back. Great usage of our resources as well, but just like that, iitzmando able to throw Dark into the corner and able to get a lot of damage off this confirm as well. Lots of jealousy meter active. As you can see, we got full gauge to work with.
Yeah, now it's just block for your life. That was a wonderful deflect shield, able to capitalize, but a big whiff might lead into their defeat here. Overwhelming offense with the overhead getting the first round.
Yeah, you can see Dark not really wanting to use that deflect shield again because at that point it's like, okay, let's just hold on to this burst mirror, let's take it to the next round because that miss is just so difficult to work with, and we had just so much jealousy meter left that it wasn't really worth the risk. Speaking of risks, Dark does not have to take any as we are just pushing forward here on iitzmando. We're sending iitzmando through the wall, getting that positive bonus, getting a lot of meter here to work with. ERC forward, jumping for the counter hit, all right.
Oh, and then the side swap into the key grab. Not enough tension there to close it out, but straight into Jealous Rage. No way to survive that one when you're one hit away from death.
Yeah, Jobber, have you seen that one MODOK clip on Twitter where it's like the guy just like flying over the opponent slowly?
Yes.
That BRC jump over really reminded me of that. Now, I know it was a counter hit, but like still, it was... I could not stop thinking about it. You gotta like overlay the MODOK with the A.B.A right there. And I'm telling you, it's exactly it.
Oh man, Mr. Voyager dropping $2 saying, not gonna lie, Cliff as a ghost is kind of dark. Hey, I mean, Guilty Gear can be kind of dark, all right? You seen some of those past games? Strive is like the most happy, smiley Guilty Gear game. Oh, but there's the throw. Ooh, nice air to air, and shouts to Urikov coming through 63 months. I see you, brother.
All right, get the key unlock. Running forward. Ooh. Let's take it to the next round.
You might still be alive here. The extra wall break damage gonna be enough to get the kill. It is, yeah. Yeah.
What did I say? What did I say?
You're right. You're all right, Salty Boy.
Well, one of the things about A.B.A that they didn't really change too much is she does a lot of damage. That's for
absolutely. Sure. She is that snowball-y character, right? She can build up that Jealous Rage and really just get that hit on the opponent. It's hard to stop that unrelenting offense. But obviously, with the changes in Season 5, now when she uninstalls, she is in that counter hit state for a split second.
And now we're going to go for the key unlock yet again, sending iitzmando through the wall, getting that jealousy gauge back for just a little bit, and that's probably all we need here. And that looks like it's all she wrote, but a great delay burst from iitzmando, going to avoid that, and a great YRC bait as well. Going for the early unlock, though, just so we don't break the wall, and also we don't have to worry about that burst. However, we just had so much health that we have to work through, and Dark just needed a single tap there with that 2A to seal the deal, and that's exactly what Dark is going to do to bring us to that 2-0 lead.
That was really tragic there at the end. Swung just a little too early before the uninstall. They could have gotten a massive punish there and closed out the round. But now gonna have to bring it back. 3-0, a pretty deficit here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and already you can also see like the interplay of, hey, you know, you can burst or die. Like that's your decision. But it's like, you know, if you take the correct guess that your opponent is going to attempt to bait out that burst, then you do have that in your back pocket to get out, maybe without even spending the burst in the first place. So Dark is, you know, maybe going to be a little bit more leaning towards, you know, finishing our food so we don't get scared like that. So we don't get scared in that fashion later on in this set. But right now, I'm feeling that Dark is not scared at all.
Oh, no fear, just trying to go right on in. There's the YRC to create a little bit of space. But man, A.B.A having to deal with a jealous rage A.B.A seems so difficult. It's got like okay buttons for reach to keep opponents out, but it's too difficult to keep A.B.A out when she's in jealous rage, right? She goes full momentum on frame 1 of dashing.
I mean, it legitimately is like the Happy Chaos problem that we used to have, where like Happy Chaos didn't really have really good tools to deal with himself. And I feel like that's the same case here with A.B.A, where like A.B.A, she is very limited with what she can do against another jealous rage A.B.A. And especially if you're not in jealousy rage yourself, then your options are severely limited, as we can see here with Dark, as iitzmando is off to a fantastic start.
Should be able to build enough meter here to go for the wall break. Oh, just opts to uninstall and just go for a raw wall break, get the positive bonus. Didn't care about the hard knockdown. I guess that makes sense when you have that amount of life, right? You rather just take the meter to try and finish the job.
Right. And look at this resource advantage we have here. Gets the overhead to connect. Unfortunately, drop the combo at the end.
Don't let it happen to you.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too much about the burst. I guess we just didn't want Dark to snowball in an instance, but we did have access to that YRC if we need to use it on defense. So I feel like iitzmando was still in a pretty good spot. However, we did take that round. I guess that's what's going to be important in the end, especially if we can get this round start where we don't have to worry about spending that burst early and we can let that burst build up over time over the course of this last round.
Yeah, but that 2K press. Oh, 2K press right back. Burst is spent. Both of them just trying to gain control of momentum. There's the anti-air. Big drop, though, into a mortal counter hit. And we are scrambling here mid-screen.
That we are. Counter hit there, air to air, looking good there for iitzmando. Unfortunately, not able to get the pick up on the ground, but still we have that follow up here on with the grounded pressure, and that is going to be really rough here for Dark.
That was fantastic awareness, too, to install Raw right in your opponent's face, knowing that they are about to uninstall and be vulnerable. Speaking of the uninstall, no punish on that.
You might not have to worry about install for the remainder of this round, as iitzmando is going to clean it up fair and honest, swinging that key all around. And it's not going to be a 3-0 here for Dark, as iitzmando is going to give Dark a run for their money.
Character loses the mirror? I know, that's crazy. Can you imagine their selves?
Yeah, it's pretty darn bad. Like, legitimately, you know, once again, like, especially if you're not in jealousy rage. But here's the things, like, if you're blocking with jealousy rage, like, what are you even doing? Right? But like the thing is, like, when we're not in jealousy rage and we're having to hold this pressure sequence, there's nothing we can really do. Like, our defensive options are very, very limited. You know, we don't have a proper DP. Our mash buttons are kind of terrible. So you just really want to, like I said at the start of this set, get that early confirm, get that early jealousy rage built up, and then snowball from there.
Yeah, the main mash button that you're seeing, I love that little guard point. Unfortunately, not going to help you. The main mash button you see is the 2K, right? You space them out with FD and then go for that 2K to try and whiff punish. Get the knockdown and then start running your own offense. What a beautiful throw tech there, too. Dark, though, unable to escape from the corner.
What do we do here, Jobber? What do we do here?
Well, luckily for you, you're going back to neutral, so you don't have to worry about what to do in the corner. Now just don't die. Oh, wait, you uninstalled. Yeah, you're dead.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you even do here? It's like, you know, we saw that little bit of jealousy rage that had to, like, force us to uninstall, like, immediately after that wall break. So we didn't have to use that super to get that, you know, early frame advantage. DRC comes out, but that's just going to be a throw punch coming in from iitzmando. And man, iitzmando might just even us up to a 2-2 for our very first set.
See, burst still on the side here of Dark. Able to score that knockdown. Not going straight into jealous rage yet. Wants to build up a little bit more of that meter. Gets another throw into an OTG. Oh, but a nice jump out.
Just knocked down, looking good here. Red RC to extend this pressure. Great block so far, but doesn't take the throw. iitzmando going to continue to take Dark further and further away from that corner position and bring us to the corner set, but now we're back in mid-screen, both players with that jealous gauge on lock. But Dark just has a little bit more, and iitzmando, this is a really tough choice there. You know, uninstalling and then choosing to approach afterwards, but it looks like it will be paying off. Great block on that overhead. Dark going to fight back, try to even up this round count.
Oh,
Whiffs, no punish.
That was such an unfortunate whiff. That was your chance to close out the round right there. Just needed a different button. Now trying to weather the storm in the corner. No OTG. Goes for the bed drop into the throw.
Oh man, there's no red. And there's the Bedman's coming out.
Oh! Double install.
Live super. Okay, we're just gonna block it out, but it's okay. We run forward, and that's gonna be the Danzai on defense.
Good old Danzai. Nothing beats it. Now we're going to game 5 in the A.B.A mirror match. Our first set here of the night for TNS Strive.
You know, not gonna lie, Jobber, this entire set, I've been just thinking in my head, there is an extreme lack of Danzais being used. Like, you'd expect them to use it more, but no, that was just like perfectly placed right there. It's like, okay, you know, we don't have a lot of options, but that is just a great wall to kind of check your opponent running in on you. So good play there, right, as we're going to be evening up the game count to that 2-2 I've been talking about before. So game number 5.
Jumping right into it. I'm not gonna front chat. I can't see what's happening right now.
Yeah, Dream is going kaput on me.
Okay, it's you and me? Okay, I thought it was me for a second.
Oh, I see black, which I guess is like accurate to the game. Oh snap, alright, we are back. We don't have to worry about that any longer here, but is Mando in a difficult position immediately after that wall break, and just like so.
Crazy cross up there, and Dark now sitting on the verge of set point, still has burst available. Question is, are they ever gonna have to spend it with the offense that they're putting on?
Yeah, and it's Mando once again on that back foot. Almost immediately, we were able to get that burst back off that wall splat, but now we have so much of our health gone. We don't have a lot of jealousy rage to work with either. Even if we can get into that stance. Great burst though, able to put Dark into the corner.
There was no punish though, and here we go with the RC. Gonna be able to pick up. No RC this time. Goes for the cross up, and that's gonna be it. So plus R. Nice, just going for that JS right away to try and reel in Doom, but Doom utilizing those long buttons like you mentioned before.
Yeah, now here we're seeing a bit of that zoning. I like how we're also really utilizing that unorthodox movement from Bedman with that omnidirectional air dash, kind of keeping Dr. Doom at bay, keeping Dr. Doom guessing what our next approach is going to be, like we're seeing there with that downward diagonal air dash. But unfortunately, we went straight into Dr. Doom's clutches here, as now we have our back up against the wall, trying to get out, get caught by that Beyblade counter hit, and we do not have that burst any longer, so Dr. Doom should be able to close this one out pretty handily, toss some of those 6 H's in there for good measure, and Dr. Doom going to taking round number 1.
Anti-air Beyblade is the most big body thing ever. Poor Bedman. Ooh, but nice 6H. Setting out the dome as well. Oh no, but just getting a little too aggressive there in the scramble. Tossed into the corner, hit by the overhead. Now here's the BSU.
Yeah, so now this is where things get really scary here as Bedman, because that risk is going to build up. That damage is really building up here for Cat with the Computer as well. Dr. Doom really is just one good hit away from taking Cat with the Computer out of the game. We'll see if this hit is the one. However, Red RC popping us up to extend the combo, tossing us to the corner. Will this damage be enough? No, the 2H doesn't quite reach. Cat with the Computer getting out, but the YRC getting baited. Dr. Doom already in Cat with the Computer's head here, starting us off strong with those mind games.
Metal face Samurai here. Dr. Doom looking so clean. That route was gorgeous there at the end. I think we just needed to be in level 3 blood for that 2H to reach a little bit further.
Yeah, I believe that is the case as well. But I mean, speaking of 2H, that really is the button to talk about in this set. Bedman being such a big character, Bedman being a character that loves to be in the air as well. that 2H is going to be walling out Cat with the computer in a lot of these cases. But, you know, obviously there are ways to play around it. If we can go for some retreating backdashes, sending out some of those projectiles to kind of get some chip damage on to the Nago when we go for those 2Hs is going to be very relevant here, and it's going to let us set up our rewinds for us to utilize to get that approach in and start to do some actual damage.
It's not even just the fact that Bedman likes to go into the air. It's the fact that all of Bedman's air mobility has them pause for a little bit, right? Making it just prime real estate for a 2H or a 5H to catch you. And that decapitation there, getting another round for DrDoom.
But I will say, though, DrDoom has shown that we've gotten a little hasty with our predictions on those 2Hs because 2H isn't the fastest button. So sometimes you have to be a little bit forward about using it. And in those cases, we've seen Cat with the computer in the previous rounds actually duck under those 2Hs. And that's going to be giving us a lot of leeway to work with, like we're seeing right here for that 2H Whis. Then Cat with the computer is able to kind of just have that runway set up for us.
Once again, in a situation where the 6H hits, but they're just too far away to get any kind of real follow-up. And now eating a mortal counter and a burst bait. Just two H's putting you on death's door. Install is in.
Yeah, DrDoom getting a bit of a loan there from the bank to try and continue to put that pressure on to Cat with the computer, and does end up working out there for DrDoom beautifully, closing things off. I really like too the way DrDoom did some of those combo rooting towards the end of that previous round, though. You know, ending that combo with 6H not only does a lot of damage, but also gets you that knockdown in mid-screen, because we weren't really going to be able to take us to the corner without really risking our blood gauge. So DrDoom just going for that 6H, getting that guaranteed damage, getting that knockdown, and then continuing to bully Bedman in that mid-screen range.
That's right, we'll keep that bullying up here around start. Gonna go ahead and Fukio backwards to create a little bit of that space. We haven't seen too much of the zoning gameplay here from Cat with Computer, which I think they might want to start leaning into a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it might be a bit of uncertainty in the matchup as well, too, right? Because in pretty much every single other matchup, you're like, okay, I'm going to, you know, jump in the air, I'm going to do an air dash, I'm going to send out my fireball, right? But you just cannot do that with Nagoriyuki, especially with how aggressive of a player DrDoom is with these 2Hs.
Oh, and maybe that's the reason why you're not going for the zoning, right? Just sending out the clone. That is the dilemma here in this matchup, because if you want to send out the B-drill spike, you have to take to the air to be a little bit more safe, right? But then when you go into the air, you're worrying about the 2H coming out and just sniping you straight through it.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have to, you know, this sounds counterintuitive, but I feel like you're going to have to start contesting with Nagoriyuki on the ground a little bit more often. Utilize our options like Far Slash, like our own Beyblade, like our 2H to try and get that approach. 2S like that as well. 6H counter hit. That's going to be big here for Cat with the computer. Not going to be the most damage, but it will get us that knockdown. Will get us closer into the position we want to be in. And look at that damage. Going to be able to get that wall break, get that positive bonus. That's going to be a great start for here for Cat with the computer. Try and stage this comeback.
Yeah, best round that they've had here so far, performance-wise. Unfortunately, they're getting clipped by that 2S. Big body problems, and DrDoom, 100 bucks, putting a fat stack there here for the players. Thank you once again, Riptide.
Yeah, and this is what I've been talking about already. Sloth already taking a lot of damage here. Oh, and that's unfortunate, getting clipped by that 5K. DP, however, from Sloth will be getting us out of that position, setting up the rope yet again. Counter hit coming through. That's going to let Sloth get some time to reposition. DP, once again, do not dust in my face, especially without PRC to back it up. Sloth going to punish Astral for, you know, overextending just a tad bit, and Chipp is one of those characters that can really take those overextensions with those punishes and take them really far.
Nice burst. Recognizes they have the chance to take the round here. They have nearly 100 tension. Got to spend it wisely. Builds up just enough to confirm off of this into maximum Chipp for maximum damage.
Yeah, what a crazy character Chipp is. The amount of movement we have, the amount of versatility we have to move around the screen, and just very solid grounded buttons. That is the bread and butter of Chipp's pressure gameplay, is that we're going to be poking at you with really strong grounded buttons. We're also going to be enforcing some really trickiness, especially with that tight rope you saw right there.
Hard knockdown here. I love just the mental decisions in 2.0 where you either have to decide for the hard knockdown or the meter gain, right? Because the meter penalty after going for a super to break the wall is so massive.
Yeah, but right now Astral does not have to worry about a meter penalty because the super will be enough in tandem with that wall break damage to push us to this next round here in game number 1, round number 3. And immediately, as you can see right there, Astral playing the RPS game against Sloth, making it so that Sloth pressing that button gets that spin right on through, but Sloth still looking good because while we did get that hit off the spin, we weren't able to establish that pressure properly as Sloth was able to escape.
Go off the wall. Went for the reset and also to try and bait out the burst. Very smart delayed burst from Astral to get that gold burst in positive bonus, but there's that beta blade right out of the corner. Nice IAD for the counter hit.
And not going to be enough, so we're trying to reset the position. Tried to go into the command grab, which was smart, but Astral properly mashing into that moment. Lots of scaling on that combo, however. I like how Sloth waited on that combo as well. Waited for Astral to go to the other side with that kill in order to pop that burst. But at the same time, it is a little bit dicey because Astral was definitely not getting that kill in that instance. And Sloth could have probably saved it for, you know, a gold burst or even a blue burst on defense. Still though, Sloth taking it to the wire against Astral in game number 1. I'm sure this next one is also going to be just as exciting as we get right into it.
Astral doing a fantastic job with just some of these counter pokes here to try and keep Sloth on it. And love the music, using the cyberpunk soundtrack here.
For 2K2D, keeping it simple. There it is. J2K to the other side. Tightrope extending this combo. Is that going to be a wall break? No, not quite. Sloth not wanting to get that wall break just yet, but now we have enough meter to extend that combo to actually go for it this time. Sloth looking way more in control in this round. You just gotta be very careful because you make 1 or 2 small mistakes, and Astral is going to be able to delete your health.
Oh, into the low, trying to go for the overhead as well. Nice with the Alpha Blade cross up maximum. Chipp once again.
Yeah, I want to see like playing against Chipp and playing as Chipp probably has to be like one of the most stressful things. It's like, you know, you have this huge lead, but like I could just die in 1 or 2 hits. And then your opponent's like, oh my gosh, what do I do against this character just flying around my screen? I just need to find that 1 hit, and then you just don't find it. But right now, Astral is finding exactly the hits that we want to find here. Fujin attempt, but Sloth going to be finding that beta blade as we do. So far, none of these beta blades have actually been blocked as Sloth is being able to properly get through. And as I say that, we're going to spin right through that beta blade on a wake up as Astral is going to be denying the possibility of a reverse being back.
Oh, here comes the super. Going to be able to close out that round for Astral. Trying to take a 2-0 lead here against Sloth. Starting off really strong, going into this next round with full burst as well. Man, this cyberpunk song goes crazy, actually.
Find the throw, gets the knockdown. Counter hit. No burst just yet from Astral. Going to be spending this on the super to get that hard knockdown, making sure that we are guaranteed that OP situation afterwards here against Astral. With the wake-up option, backdash, going to get caught by Sloth.
Setting out the butterfly. Wow! Nearly a full screen low. Goes for the hop into the throw. And now finally showing the hand on that 5D.
Ooh, 5K check. Oh no! What a whip throw! What a parry though! What a super!
Evil ass super, let me tell ya. Lasts forever and works on both sides.
Bro, Jobber, you know Astral locked into that super like mentally 5 seconds before that happened.
Of course, all Anji players are just looking for the moment to throw out that super.
Man, what a super coming through. Even like getting the cross-up input as well, which can be tricky. So Astral just really predicting or more even like reacting to Sloth going for that cross-up. So really good play there from Astral to launch us into a 2-0 lead.
Oh, what a 6B. It ghosts with that. Oh, but the dash up 2K. Anji has slow startup on some of these moves here, which is beneficial for Sloth, right? Being able to just dash in with that 2K as quick as possible. And the burst is going to save you from the super. Okay, I thought they were going to have to block that for a second.
Honestly, I did too. I just didn't want to like make a comment on it because I was just very unsure. I've never seen that burst happen on that super like that.
I think Sloth also thought they had to block it because they held down back for a good minute afterwards.
No, he's playing patient. He's just, you know, inspecting the situation.
Chipps don't expect any. Chipps just know how to hold forward. That's what we're seeing here right now. There's the cross up. Trying to catch the backdash there with the 5K, but it's still going to hit the low, getting the round. Great work here from Sloth, now building up that momentum.
Yeah, I really like how aggressive Sloth is playing. You know, catching Astral on a lot of these backdash attempts and getting a lot of reward for doing so. There it is, the cross-up coming through. Astral not going to block it there. Sloth going to bring us back to mid-screen, however, so not going to be the best position to be in, especially now that our backup pick is against the wall, and we're going to be taking some overheads along with it as well. Got some extra throw damage, got another overhit as well. Beta Blade comes out, not going to push the momentum right there though, because maybe we are a bit worried about that spin, a bit worried about that parry. None going to come out, however, in this position.
There's the knockdown, dashing on in. Alpha Blade landing right into the raw 5K. Another maximum chip super here should be enough for the kill. No, the Japanese guns are too strong. Salté Boi.
You know, Jobber, like, you said it was gonna kill him. Like, I don't think this is gonna kill.
That's a good gut crush super.
I mean, it is, but like, did you see the scaling, Jobber? Were we looking at the same thing?
That last hit always does such a huge chunk of damage, though, but Anji, just a beefy boy.
He is
just like that. Sloth back on the board here. Now it just has to still make this reverse 3-0 comeback. Easier said than done, but this is the first step forward.
Yeah, but, you know, it is still always very spooky playing this matchup, as, you know, every single game that Sloth has been winning, at the very end, it always just comes down to the wire. So we just got to be maybe playing more careful, more aggressive. I'm not too sure. Either way, Sloth is taking the right notes from those previous rounds and showing us what we can do going into game number 4. Gets the cross up again. This might just be Sloth's round here. This might just be the Chipp round. But as I say that, Astral has Sloth in the corner. We also don't have meter, so we have to bank it all on a Beta Blade if we want to get out of this position or find a good jump out. But we're going to be sent through the wall. Positive bonus on the side of Astral, but Sloth is not knocked down. And if we don't have a knockdown Chipp, then we have so much room to work with to move around the screen and be unpredictable.
Nice backdash. Oh, trying to punish the 6P there with the BRC. That was a great call out from Sloth. Just a little too slow. Now all the tension is gone. Up on the rope, able to find the hit. There's the burst.
Oh my gosh! The on the tightrope! The burst coming out for Sloth. We want it! We want it right now! 6P attempt. Astral really locking it in, and there it is, the spin into the fusion. But man, what a good play! Setting us up into almost a win there for Sloth. The way we jumped off of the tightrope to avoid the 6P attempt from Astral. Really clean stuff from Sloth, but unfortunately just not able to close out. And now we're just having an even harder time trying to close it out because Astral has built up such a monumental lead going into set point. Sloth, however, finding our way out of the corner, gets hit by that 6P counter. That's so unfortunate. No full combo for Astral, but that PRC into that counter might just be enough. Into the super, gets the wall break. Astral going to be taking it 3-1 over Sloth and moving forward here on the winner's side.
Through as well.
6 Black Heavy.
What
we got? There we go. My go. I don't know who picked the song. I think it's Señor Whis, right? Because we play one. But
that's right. This one's good. This used to be the theme song back when the Arc World Tour was called Arc Revo. Oh, but there's the immediate burst.
Just going for those flicks. Oh wow, JD. JD does JD things. Blocking out the super. And we don't have a meter to cancel it. Oh, I like the walk forward as well. You know, gain that cross up. Kriby not gonna be spending that burst. Just gonna hold this pressure. Flick coming through, and there it is. Yeah, run up for that force slash.
Jumping back. Oh, but the 6. Hey, gonna get the counter hit there. Rushing on in.
What a backdash on the overhead! Plus frames what? We got no plus frames here.
Now let's just say this song does not sound like Nickelback at all, right? All right, 2D into the flick.
Yeah, we're just putting out these big buttons, like these 2Ds, these 6Hs, these stop signs. Slide head again. Kriby going for the optimal play with these backdashes, but we are losing a lot of space by going for these backdashes, making it so that our longer poke or longer pokes end up whiffing against Señor Whis. And that allows Señor Whis to kind of encroach on that space after those whiffs. And then we saw that Potemkin Buster come through as well on the side of Señor Whis to get that extra damage on to Kriby. But now here's that back turn pressure.
Another one.
Beautiful backdash from Señor Whis yet again. We got to be so careful here as Kriby. Yeah, normally, like, when you're in that back turn stance, you're like, okay, I just want to, you know, press my back turn K. I want to press my back turn H, back turn S, you know, press all these buttons and continue to put on this pressure. But you got to be so careful because you have so much invulnerability as Potemkin with those back dashes that we can blow out so many of these options if we're not playing careful.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to deal with, right? That's all Potemkin players are kind of looking for, is that backdash, the Potemkin Buster. Potemkin with one of the longest backdashes in the game here, so you can definitely set that up and just buffer in the Potemkin Buster while you're going for it. There we go. Wake up flash kick, set up a fireball. Gotta watch out though. FDB, flick that back.
Yeah, there's going to be another backdash, but Kriby just going to slowly walk forward, closing that distance. Playing it very safe. We don't want to be clipped by these 6Hs, these far slashes, these 2Ss. And Kriby, yeah, now finally closing that distance, going to gain that wall break, going to secure us positive bonus, get that meter to work with. But if we want to get more meter, we want to be closing that distance yet again, and we just run right into that gigantic high, no fear.
6H is so terrifying in 3.0. with that walk speed that Potemkin has, the new buff to the walk speed, 6H is just a jump scare. Nice backdash on the slide hit, but an even better 2D punish.
Yeah, they just gave Potemkin roller skates. Like, this character is starting to move. Right, 2H attempt. I like the idea there. Heat tackle into the Garuda, into, of course, a Potemkin Buster.
Señor Whis on the verge of a 2-0 lead. A lot of 2-0 leads that we are seeing here tonight so far.
Well, we don't know that just yet. We'll have to see, but right now, yeah, it is looking like Señor Whis might be able to take it with this consistency so far. Backdash coming through, no punish, and we see that Garuda attempt, but this time Kriby did have that charge stocked up to go for that flash kick. Now going to be sending Señor Whis through the wall. Kriby, let's see if we can keep this pressure going. Playing it pretty passive there. Ooh. Okay, good check.
Yeah, Kriby playing a very defensive version of Leo, which is kind of rare to see, right? Definitely the fear of God has been put into them by that Potemkin Buster.
Yeah, the fear of God, and you can see Potemkin also praying to the gods with that beautiful 6P from earlier and taking us to heaven as well with yet another round closing Potemkin Buster. Señor Whis is really just on top of these, on top of the variation of mixing up our pressure approaches, you know, mixing in those command grabs when we can, and also mixing up those strikes as well, and really just taking advantage of the fact of the uncertainty that Kriby has playing into this matchup on defense.
Sure. Go now, jumping straight into another one. Can Kriby get a little bit more aggressive? Start to establish a little bit more of a game plan. I think after a lot of your pressure gets backdashed into Potemkin Buster, you kind of lose some confidence, right? And how are you going to keep that offense rolling? This is a good start now. Harass with the close slash into the 2S.
2D, just putting it out as just a very large check button there on Kriby. Okay, 2K from Kriby coming through, and we're just going to run up for that throw to get us into that backdoor stance. Overhead does connect there with Señor Whis. Another early wall break, but man, it's always like, yes, we get the meter, yes, we get the knockdown, yes, we get the wall break, but like,
yes, we get
it
the
always feels like
Buster.
Señor Whis has the comeback, right? Yeah, we always get the Potemkin Buster, whether you like it or not. Cross up coming through, overhead coming through as well, but we dropped the combo. Burst still is what we got at the end, so I don't feel like Kriby is feeling terribly bad about that.
He's going for the RC as well. 5P. Don't know what they're going to go for afterwards, but that was a great check there from Kriby just to prevent a Potemkin Buster from coming out.
Round start, Señor Whis not going to start this one off with burst on the table, so right now Kriby doesn't have to worry about that, but so does Señor Whis. We do not have to worry about that burst because right now we're just all Potemkin at the moment. Flick there on that projectile. You always want to be careful tossing out these projectiles against Potemkin. Also why you see that Kriby is favoring that S projectile way more than the H projectile, because it's so much harder to flip.
There's Flick. Devil right in your face. Kriby, though, finally starting to establish some offense now. Run through is going to get blocked. The defense here on Whis' side has been phenomenal, but they need to figure out a way to stop the offense. 2D has been the play a lot of the time here, but Kriby is starting to adapt to that.
Yeah, playing outside of that range and then going in for those whiff punishes when we can. In Kriby building up such a monumental lead here. Super hard knockdown. That's exactly what we want to see. Tech coming in from Señor Whis, breaking us up. And even like that, you know, the advance forward there wasn't too bad either. We did get that armor broken, but we did close that distance, which is important. Kriby just continues to toss out these projectiles. Whis, though, starting to even up this live total Potemkin Buster attempt. But man, that was that was us praying to the gods that would land. That was very far. Okay,
oh,
we're gonna get it anyway.
But there we go. The classic slide on in RC Potemkin Buster. Now harassing with the Garuda impact. When your back is up against the wall, there is nowhere to run. Too afraid to flash kick and gonna get tossed.
Holy moly, dude! I love I love Señor Whis' determination. It's like, yeah, I whiffed 2 Potemkin Busters, but they never expect the 3rd one or the 4th one.
Señor whiff throw there at the start of the round, though, now getting sent through the wall for a positive bonus for Kriby.
Oh, okay, that's a big 6K whip there from Señor Whis. Definitely trying to carve something.
Kriby mounting a massive comeback. Love just trying to go for these whiff punishes here. Oh no. Oh, the little delay to try and bait out the burst.
6K coming through with the flick.
Whis had to spend their own burst to stay aggressive, and finally giving you a taste of your own medicine, backdashing the pop buster and taking a game.
Yeah, taking a game now. Kriby is finally on the map here against Señor Whis. I think the big difference maker here has just been Kriby, you know, approaching neutral differently. I think that's like the big key here, because in the start, Señor Whis was just controlling neutral very easily, and I think Kriby is varying up how we approach, you know, with how we walk forward, how we kind of play outside of the range that Potemkin wants to play at, so we have to go for wrist like Heat Knuckle, and, you know, spamming more of those projectiles until it gets flicked, because Señor Whis has not really been flicking much of these projectiles, because the problem is, if you choose to flick it, Kriby does have options to work around it.
Nice 5P anti-air.
Jump forward, getting that air hit. Power slash. There it is. That flick coming through, going to knock back that projectile attempt from Kriby, and Gigantic right in your face. I see this mix-up, Potemkin Buster. Yeah, whenever you see that mix-up there with the JP, that Potemkin Buster is coming.
There's the immediate burst. Whis smelling blood in the water. Doesn't want to give Kriby any lifeline here. Those point-blank fireballs. Kriby trying to dare Señor Whis to flick them back. Oh, the RC to go through the armor.
Oh, red. Okay. Okay, no, gonna stay same side. Señor Whis trying to press a button and getting counter hit. Super coming through. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. Yeah, too much health there on the side of Potemkin. I think any other character, and it probably would have been it. And there it is. Flash kick. What a fitting way to end that round.
2S. Straight to the 6H, trying to go for that slide hit again. Kriby has been really consistent about backdashing those slide hit attempts.
Yeah, I think that has been one of the biggest boons Kriby has had here in neutral, is backdashing those slide heads, kind of making it so that Señor Whis isn't actually advancing our own game plan in neutral, and Kriby still has free reign of movement to kind of walk all around. Oh my gosh, the shimmy as well. The grappler trying to throw on defense. Not today, buddy. Kriby might just take us to a game 5 with one more good hit. Trade there coming in from these players. PRC trying to bait out a burst, and there it is. No burst coming through, so we just go straight into a super. Kriby with that second game 1 for themselves means that we are at that game 5 finally.
Yo, Whis, no así. Por favor. Going to game 5. Kriby on the verge of a 3-0 comeback here. Señor Whis was looking so dominant in those first 2 games, but Kriby has found the adaptation, has been sitting at such good lengths. The tip of that far slash length, getting away from the far slash length particularly, and the heavy slash length of Señor Whis.
Yeah, Leo just has very good movement, right? Very good movement, great pokes as well that can contest against Potemkin. You just have to play very carefully. You have to, you know, approach this matchup a lot more passive, like we're seeing right there. Like, we saw that punish coming in from Kriby. We gotta play very heads up, we gotta play passive, and we can't be playing nearly as aggressive as you can be against other characters, despite Potemkin being that big body character that Leo likes to mess around with here. Lots of projectiles, like, okay, when are you gonna flick? When are you gonna flick? Flick finally coming out, but that's not gonna dissuade Kriby from going for more of those projectiles. Still though, burst comes out from Kriby. That's gonna be a valuable resource being spent, but still we're in a pretty solid position, and another perfect backdash in that slide head's face.
Sometimes being hyper-aggressive against Potemkin is the play to just smother him, but obviously Whis has been showing their defensive capabilities here, their ability to backdash and turn things around with a Potemkin buster, so Kriby taking a much more measured approach.
Yeah, backdashing the slide heads when we can, and the idea behind the projectile as well is that it is multi-hitting, so if Señor Whis tries to lock into something like slide head, we are getting like a decent amount of chip damage onto Potemkin, and we still have time to set up that to go for that backdash in response to the slide head as well. It very much limits what options Señor Whis can go for, and it's like, yes, flick can be strong versus it, but at the same time it's like it's such a potent defensive tool that like is forcing Señor Whis to go for those plays. All right, super through.
Hard knockdown, a little bit of a shimmy to try and bait out a burst.
And shimmy,
there we go.
Wii.
Again, hard baiting out the burst here. Señor Whis not going to spend it. Final game, final round. Kriby about to get that burst back as well, so the economy is pretty even.
Hit, burst, very early coming out from Señor Whis. Knowing that Potemkin is that big body character, so we could potentially build up some more bursts later on in this round. We just want to negate that early damage. We want to negate that early snowball coming in from Kriby, but Kriby is really just setting up this set point here with full confidence against Señor Whis. The switch up has been insane so far. Countered on that far slash though, going to be making Kriby go for a spin cycle into the corner. 6H hit, getting that wall bounce. Not going to be getting that wall break, but a lot of good damage here. Kriby getting that burst back just in time. Does attempt. I love the RC forward after that deflect shield to continue to maintain that close up distance against Señor Whis to keep that pressure going.
There you go, Kriby with an incredible comeback.
Dude, I remember,
this character is real.
I think I remember it was like the first Arc World Tour for this game, or was Arc? Anyways, like the very first invitational here for this game, it was like Zato, I think it was like Gobo Zato and Daru Ino that was like duking it out. And man, like these characters have like changed so much since then, but one thing still remains the same. They are very much single player characters. They're going to be putting you into the blender, and they're going to be preventing you from being able to play the game. You know, Zato has become a little bit more interactable over time, and honestly, Ino probably has been as well, especially after how they changed H-Stroke. But still, though, the general idea stays the same.
Start for that 2S into the leapfrog. All right, coming home. Here we go. Gets the throw. Follow up with the oppose.
Yeah, and that's one of the really scary things about Zato is the fact that Zato can just cancel into that oppose whenever you want. And if you press that button into the oppose, you're pretty much just dead. Like, that is wraps. And it really is looking wraps here for Shockjoc. Poncho going for that very aggressive burst. Great mix up there too. Great defense from Shockjoc blocking it all out. Didn't block that final low, but we didn't really have any resources to fully capitalize after that. Still though, chasing Shockjoc out of the corner after we escaped and into the other corner. And that was a very Zato set of rounds right there. Really just going back to the dominance that we saw with early Zato.
Yeah, it can get a little bit difficult for Ino to actually get started against Zato, right? Obviously, little Eddie with things like the pierce, the poke, a leapfrog can cover Ino's dash angle. The key thing is shutting down little Eddie first. You have to get Eddie killed, and then you can start rushing in. Gotta utilize that chemical love, gotta utilize that antidepressant scale to try and just snipe little Eddie, get him off the board.
Or just fly immediately over Eddie as well. But you know, if the Zato player is smart, we do have, you know, the frog to try and catch Shockjoc on approach. We do have that pose like that as well in case Shockjoc tries to really poncho from full screen with those notes.
Bro. Oh, the double overhead with that JD. Getting the timing there, break the law for the amorphous hard knockdown.
All right, a pose set up, YRC. Just going to spam those 5Ps into the 6P as well, let it ride. Dust attempt, but just a little too far out, but still Poncho staying in control despite Shockjoc looking a little bit better in that round.
What are you supposed to do against this? That is actually a really good question. You have options. It's difficult when you're stuck in the blender, but the pressure can only go for so long. Eventually, little Eddie is going to run out with that gauge, meaning you just have to block long enough, or there are gaps where you can press to get rid of little Eddie, and then Zato's not nearly as scary.
Yeah, and honestly, too, it's like, you want to capitalize off the fact, like off the positions where Poncho doesn't have Eddie available, because Poncho is being very aggressive with his Eddie gauge, by the way. We are going for these supers to wall break, and not for the sword supers, right? The sword is going to refill Eddie, but we're not going for those. So oftentimes we're getting that wall break, and then Eddie gauge is completely run dry. So as Shockjoc, you want to be pushing your aggression at those moments, but still, the Poncho is playing very smart, right? I think that is also really understated. We want to like talk about the power of Zato when he is able to do what he wants, but I also wanted to really highlight how Poncho is playing this neutral defensively when we don't have Eddie, really abusing that red RC so that we can find a hit, force Shockjoc to block something, and then use that red RC to buy us some time.
The round start trying to go for stroke the big tree, but getting sniped out by that 2S. Finally, Shockjoc being aggressive right off the bat, but the 5P use here from Poncho. Closest thing Zato has to a reversal, and it's a damn good one.
And normally, like, standard reversals aren't going to be the best against Ino because of the way she can stage jump you. Really, the biggest thing you want to be focusing on defense is the usage of your 5Ps, of the 6Ps, and that's exactly what Poncho is using so excellently to really interrupt Shockjoc's pressure once we try to get something started. I mean, you're seeing it right there, like, once we get a trade, we're still in a very favorable position here for Zato because Shockjoc has to close that distance, and Poncho has created that room for us to recall Eddie, and then, you know, maybe set up the oppose if Shockjoc wants to be aggressive with the stroke, or just go for the Pierce to immediately establish that pressure.
We're going to get the knockdown, start establishing that pressure now. Deflect shield not going to save you in this scenario, but a nice throw there. Here, Shockjoc getting the 6P, trying to stroke the big tree, but Poncho's so good at putting a stop to the offense from Shockjoc, and again, abusing that 5P.
Yeah, 6P just being very fast on the side of Zato as well. Now we have you in the sandwich, into the drills, catching Shockjoc, going straight into the sword super. It's not going to be wall break though, so I like that rooting from Poncho, going for that sword super early to make sure that we still have that corner. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get enough meter for the super. I think that's what Poncho was trying to play for, and I think if we got that super, that would have been best right then and there. But still, this is kind of just feeling like wraps at the moment. We have that positive bonus. Shockjoc is so low on health, so low on meter. We still have burst, but there's not really a lot we can
character that some people have going into Season 5, into 2.0. Obviously, the power level of the cast was brought down pretty significantly across the board, and a lot of people feel like Sin doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, Sin kind of felt like we got the shorter end of the stick here. And we're not talking about the length of the beak driver, because that has kind of remained unchanged. But, you know, there's like certain things that have changed about this character that makes him feel a little bit less strong than he felt before. But still a pretty solid character. I mean, you know, you can't really be a bad character if you have elk hunt and beak driver and you cancel all yourself, right? Like, there's only so bad you can be.
Is there a problem, Content Casper? That's my on screen right now. Don't you see the fans? This is Street Fighter. Oh, there's the dash throw.
Yeah.
What a
red
2P.
RC. Nice.
Crazy 2P.
Set, YRC. Intense. That's going to be a throw there for Kaneda, and the meter spend to extend into a combo as well. Kaneda taking round number 1, looking really close though as we go into round number 2. Round start, Abdur just pressing those buttons. Kaneda going for a much more passive approach than what we went for before. We're just going very back and forth. Overhead attempt, going to connect. 2P, great check so far from Abdur with these 2Ps.
Yeah, Anji players are really good at those defensive pokes with 5P, 2P, and the 5K. Almost universally across the board once they get to that higher level, but the PRC is going to be tossed right back into the corner.
Okay, spin once again, but yeah, if you're caught in a spin like that, and Kaneda has enough here for the red RC, you can just go for a DP like that. So there is that RPS that you have to play when your opponent has some meter to work with. 6P. Elkunt coming through, canceling, trying to go for a throw yet again, but this is the second time we try to go for that dash cancel throw, and both times Abdur has been able to get a successful backdash on it, and we'll be getting a successful carry super as well.
Great round there for Abdur. Tying things up. Kaneda still with the burst is what I would say, but spends it immediately there to try and gain some momentum. Momentum has been taken. Attempting to go for that 6P. A bit of a scramble in the corner, but the throw.
All right, Tyrant Barrel getting the sweet spot hit right there to get the maximum amount of damage, sending us through the wall and buying us a little bit of time here, trying to get that last stock here, but unfortunately not able to get it. Okay, there we go. Stamina bar finally going to fill up here for Kaneda. Just in the nick of time as well, as we're going to be letting that DP rip. Not going to cancel it though. Just going to continue to play at that distance against Abdur and toe from afar with those deep driver hits.
6K coming out, allowing Kaneda to get game number 1. Chat, I see y'all talking. Look, if you want top tier Elfelt, do I have the game for you? It's called Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator 2.
She plays nothing like her Xrd counterpart.
Look. She is still terrorizing that game. Let us just allow her to be ass one, please, for our sanity.
She plays nothing like her Xrd counterpart.
It's fine.
Like that.
Fine. She doesn't
Not
need
even a good comparison, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I don't want a good Elfelt in this game. We already have a good Elfelt in another game.
Yeah, they should just give her a Pineberry again. That'll fix everything.
She kind of has it. All right, nice. Rising JK. That was a great route there in the corner from Abdur. Kaneda going for the burst just not to be sent through the corner. The stand and do nothing.
Hey, you know, if it works, it works. We saw that on BlazBlue last night as well. You love it when you see those moments and ends up working out for one of the players there, as Abdur is just built up a monumental lead there against Kaneda. Such a huge health advantage and such a good screen position as well. Going to refresh Kaneda going to this next round here. Small trade to start us off, and a great air threat from Abdur going to be able to get us that mid-screen butterfly Oki that Kaneda has to hold.
Goodness. That was a crazy trade there. But nice. The use of DP from Kaneda. Really no fear to just throw it out. Again, throwing it out there.
Wait, stop. Try to go for a gold burst. Very inspired gold burst, I will say there from Abdur. Gets blocked, but yeah, of course, we're still safe. And we're just going to carry Kaneda to the East Coast, despite not even finding a hit. There's just so much corner carry off those block creeps.
Go RTL. Not going to hit, so has to go for the RC into the hoof stomp. We are scrambling here in the corner, but the 6P and the beat driver was fully out of stamina, so couldn't confirm on it. Abdur getting another lease on life.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see this.
Is that enough? Is that enough? Is that going to kill it? No, it is not. No, it is not. That's going to
You gotta be kidding me.
Finding the air confirm. But no, you would tell the demons were in Kaneda's head speaking. Kaneda's like, go for the throw. He's going to spin. Go for the throw. He's going for the spin. Like, I know in those scramble positions, like going for the spin is like very skewed in Anji's favor. And that's exactly what Kaneda was trying to look for with that throw. But Abdur is also just playing very heads up and not going for these spins because Kaneda has represented that we are very willing to go for these throws.
Yeah, and Abdur definitely probably could have closed that out with a different route. Unfortunately, just went for the Fujin overhead. And now, Nagoriyuki gonna catch the backdash there for the low. Spending all that meter to stay aggressive. Overhead connects this time.
Low connects from Kaneda there, but unfortunately couldn't find the 2D knockdown. We were just a little too spaced out. Low hit off the Nagoriyuki. We'll be able to get that wall splat, but we're not going to go for the wall break, interestingly enough. I don't know if we messed up our input or if we just went to stay here in this position. I mean, we have plenty of mirror to work with, so I guess that was the idea there from Kaneda, not to give Kaneda more, from Abdur, not to give Kaneda more resources than necessary. Butterfly coming through, going to be respect that defensive option from Kaneda. Butterfly comes out again, but tossing it out raw like that means Kaneda has so much more room to work with, and with all that meter, we can just pop that red RC and extend the combo into the finish line.
Fantastic work here from Kaneda, getting that 2-0 lead once again. We are consistently seeing 2-0 leads across the board here tonight on TNS. We've seen some players able to make that reverse 3-0, but Abdur is now put in that hot seat. Are they going to be able to turn things around?
Yeah, we'll just have to see, though. Yeah, no, playing neutral has just been kind of awkward here from Abdur. And I think we just also got a little ahead of ourselves with the second butterfly there in the corner. So I think we just got to tighten up that pressure, and we should be good. Abdur looking still pretty darn good. We're trading rounds back and forth. We are going to the wire in a lot of these rounds as well. So even though it is a 2-0, I would say we are still pretty good.
Also, a few situations that where Abdur could have kept pressure going, but just froze, right? Not going for that wall break, not going for any of the again, that standing still. I have to wonder if that's a conscious decision, or maybe something's going on that we're not too sure about. But there's the back throw after the spin.
Okay, air throw. Calling out that Kaneda really likes it to jump on defense. Burst, a bait. Yeah, Abdur is really feeling good about that one, but no super, because I think super should have been able to confirm the kill right there. I think that would have been enough damage, but no, we're not going to be spending it. Abdur going to keep Kaneda alive for just a little bit longer, but not long enough to really get us.
Straight into the next round, both players backing up, being a little bit patient, showing each other respect. There's the dash up throw to the OTG. And Arcus Dioblis coming through 17 months. Missed the bracket to work a double. Hopefully you could enjoy some guilty gear here.
Okay, gold burst on defense again from Abdur. It just doesn't feel good spending that burst like that. And always getting blocked as Kaneda is just respecting those wake-up options from Abdur. Because, I mean, at this point, like, we don't really have a lot to lose. We kind of go for whatever we want in these positions here. Great job, though, making that DP whiff, meaning we couldn't cancel it. Abdur going to be actually evening up this life total quite a good amount here. One more good hit should be able to seal it. That throw going to get us a little bit closer. Burst still on the side of Kaneda if we choose to spend it. And Abdur looking for it! No! Why did we try to set butterfly?
Oh, no! And gonna get nice set point here now for Kaneda on the verge of a 3-0.
Oh no, yeah, a little too in the weeds. I feel like if we just finished our combo, instead of going for that butterfly, we would have been in a great position if, it could have killed or, still been in a good position afterwards. I'm not too sure about that now. During a really sticky situation, look at how much damage Kaneda has already put on the board. Spin coming through, no follow-up coming out from Abdur. Coach to the other side. Aerial hit does not find an overhead as Kaneda avoids it entirely. Burst comes out from Kaneda on defense. Yes.
Again, just standing completely still. It has to be an input error. It has to be an input error, Salté Boi. Something has to be going on with the stick. They got hit raw there. Now going to lose out for it.
11, 6 a.m. in the morning before your trip, you just grab the melon pawns in there. Yeah, no, goated experience in Japan. But right now we're gonna be having a well, I don't know if you can call this a goated experience for totsubunger, being immediately sent into the corner against the May here. But we're gonna be giving CHAINSAW NAN a taste of our own medicine here, sending CHAINSAW NAN through the wall, getting a lot of damage on the board as well. Look at that red health, but that JS when he continues to keep pushing all day.
Setting out the... Oh, that was a little nasty there, right? Throwing out the sword and then using the rock to lock you down and force you to hold the explosion.
5K into 6H. Do that jump off of the Dolphin to go for that overhead mix-up. And that should be another wall break here. Chainsaw Nan not going to be going for the burst here. So totsubunger still going to be in that positive zone and start to take us around the world here. Throw coming through amidst the sword explosion. It won't be enough, though. We don't have the meter. I don't think. I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah, not going to be enough. totsubunger alive by just a thread. Full meter, so we're just going to go for that 50-meter BRC forward. Fading out a burst. No burst comes out.
And by a sliver of your life, totsubunger able to secure the first round there. Burst still on the same pace for both players here. totsubunger not going to spend it after losing the round start.
Ooh, yeah, no, this is a really tough position now. And I love the throw position from totsubunger as well to toss Chainsaw Nan not into the corner, but instead as far as we can from the sword.
Oh, nice. A little tick throw there off of the 5P. Going for the left-right mix on the right side. Was blocked, but the counter hit straight into Dolphin looped. No meter spent, though.
Okay, we're just going for the 214H slam yet again. Not too sure what the 5P was trying to check, but totsubunger still in a really good position, especially after that Mortal Botto getting blocked. All right, totsubunger, one game on the board here versus Chainsaw Nan. Just doing a really good job here. So I'm trying to think. I think Nan is playing very aggressive with how we're tossing out these swords. totsubunger playing a really good job on defense. I think one thing we need to see more from Chainsaw Nan, though, is potentially walling out that air escape more often from totsubunger. So something like the air throw, for example, right? You know, preventing Nan from taking up to the air like we've been doing so much recently.
Oh, trying to go for that 5P. There you go. Still pushing to the corner. Using that sword explosion to cover the recovery of the second sword. The way that Nanan has been just utilizing sword tosses there. Never caught without either one.
Alright, utilizing that FD to push totsubunger out, so we have to go for those dash forwards if we want to keep that pressure going, or go for dolphins, which Chainsaw Nan can react to. So good FDs from Chainsaw Nan, good usage of that meter. Jump forward, JH into the J214S, into the sword toss as well. Doing pretty decent here in a neutral. Daro going to take us a little bit further into the corner, and this sword explosion will guarantee us that wall break. Mortal Botto should be able to get us that hard knockdown, and this is where that ram pressure starts to lose.
Yeah, it looked like totsubunger tried to go for the 6P earlier through the sword, but to no avail. And now, stuck in the corner once again, the falling JK. Sword is back. Oh! Actually went for the wrong toss there, so I had to PRC to stay safe.
Just pointing at the opponent. All right, just going for the all three hits of the Rekka with no meter to back it up. Interesting, but the push block kept Nan in a pretty safe spot, and now we're finally going to represent the overhead flip, and with a perfect non, clapping back, responding to totsubanger's first game win to even us up here in top 48.
I think this might be our first set on stream that has not gone 2-0 right off the bat.
Let me think. Yeah,
I'm sure all of them have at least gotten to 2-0 before we ever saw a game 5 or a comeback. But now this one is competitive right off the bat here, tying things up 1 apiece. Who is gonna get that extra safety net here with the 2-1 lead?
Yeah, we'll have to see it. It's going to come down a lot to this round start as well. Just going for the simple S Dolphin, and Non, of course, going to be pressing immediately after the S Dolphin, because without that meter, totsubanger can't actually keep that pressure going. The egg is blocked. Non just going to continue to walk back, though. Okay, throw. This is actually massive. 2K OTG, 2H, going to push us a little far back. Not going to toss the swords out yet, though. Waiting for that perfect opportunity, and that's going to be the perfect opportunity right there. Finally counter hit off that bar slash into the high sword toss. Let's see, extended combo. Okay, burst comes out from totsubanger now.
Yeah, I didn't want to get put into the corner. Knew that that was going to lead to a wall break situation, so was just trying to cut the damage short while they could and stacking up their own damage there while they free Willy.
Round start here. 5K check. I think just predicting the Dolphin from before or just the dash up like we saw right there. So calling out those offensive approaches.
Here we go. Dolphin loops. Taking a page out of Slayer's book. Cross up is going to connect this time. It loops into itself. That is,
It looks so weird. I'm not going to lie. But it is cool. It is cool. There's the throw coming through. Close slash for the OTG. 6H wall bounce. 214H. Get that wall break. And Ram is one of those characters, too, that really kind of wants to go for that wall break. Other characters kind of have the option to not go for it, like we saw with Leo in the past. But because we have to use both of our floors a lot of the time in the corner, we actually just kind of want to get that wall break so we get both of those swords back in the game.
And this time going for the wall break just to be able to go for the safe jump. You can no longer RC invincible supers. So totsubunger are going to get that 2-1 edge over Nan here in this set, trying to stay alive in the top 48 of.
Yeah, now note, it is more optimal in some positions to actually go for the high sword, H sword instead, to get that early knockdown in the corner instead of going for wall break. But it's kind of just like, you know, depending on your positioning, depending on the resources you have, which is like, you know, you can either go for the wall break, which is more guaranteed, or, you know, play it like that. But usually you go for that sword pretty early a lot of the time too. So in this position, you know, if you can get a good hit and you can get the wall break early, then you will be in a much better spot. But here we go. Nan off to a pretty solid start here, but totsubunger getting that throw to toss Nan into the corner. As I say that, Nan still somehow able to escape, turn the tables on totsubunger, and put you into this sword mix. And wow, it is just so scary trying to press a button. And Nan, I love how we backed up and then was like, okay, now if you try to Dolphin Force, you try to 5K me, I have that 6P pound hit in my back pocket.
So staying same side this time. Just maintaining that corner pressure. And now calling in great Yamada-san for another round. Totsubunger firmly putting themselves here at set point.
A set point with first on the table as well. That is a great way to start things off. /patching Nan round start. Such a big button. That big button is going to be guaranteeing us another counter. And that burst coming back just as we get that wall splat. What a huge lead totsubunger has built, and Nan still doesn't have 50 meter. We might have to be spending this burst here on like a deflection on defense, if anything, but looks like Nan is able to start to try and get things back into our court. Burst, yeah, we have to do it, or that is going to be death. totsubunger still has that burst available. Can't afford to hold on to it into this position, and this is what I've been talking about. We go for that high sword toss to get that knockdown, but it is scary if you don't have those resources like we saw right there. If you don't have enough meter for that red RC, yes, you get the knockdown, but also you are at like this weird distance. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how this goes. Goldlewis also has like some pretty good poking options. 2P, that's what I also wanted to talk about. Like, I wanted to talk about it, but the Lasagna Slayer just really represented it. Yeah, 2P is a very good defensive Abari option to kill Eddie as well, if you can find those moments. And I like that burst as well. Burst into drone. As an Eddie-less Zato, we don't really have too many ways to work around the drone, but also if you're at full screen like that, Lasagna Slayer has to go for the really deep run-ins to actually close that distance.
Oh, nice. Trying to go in for the JH.
Okay, interesting. Going for the burn it down, and this is like another one of those things, like burn it down, Skyfish, all this just kills Eddie on command. And burn it down also doesn't get interrupted even if you get hit. So it's like just really tough here for Zato. YRC, you know, once again, just killing Eddie. Lasagna Slayer literally just hates this puppet. And for good reason, because once we get Eddie set up, that's where things get really scary. But with this lead that we have, and with how low health Lasagna Slayer had left, Poncho really just needed to put Lasagna Slayer to one good block string to really just force a chip kill if we didn't even find a hit.
Oh, whoa, that was definitely, I think, a Behemoth Typhoon, and accidentally got the neutral JH, but still keeping the pressure up. The RC goes for the low option this time. Look at the chip damage adding up.
Okay, interesting oppose usage right there. And yeah, we're just going to continue to get these plus frames here on Poncho. It's just really hard to actually safely set up Eddie in this position, and we have to rely on these jump outs and these floats to actually escape this corner. But just like that, I mean, Lasagna Slayer also has options to call out those jumps if Poncho chooses to go for them. But Poncho now in the clear, it seems like, I like that play there. Going for the drill, Lasagna Slayer jumping up, so we represent the 6P and the opposed at the same time to cover multiple angles and continue holding on to that advantage state.
Going for the 5K, stomping a mud hole. Just for the OTG, now you're back up against the ropes one more time. How do you escape, Poncho? Deep Flex Shield into the 2S.
Yeah, that's another very important thing to be able to utilize is that deflect shield against those BTs. Just gotta make sure that you're using it on the right BT. Push them far enough away so that we can create that distance and get out. Still though, you want to be like, if you get the deflect shield and you see that BT kind of whiff and we're in those negative frames, you kind of want to like let that eddy rip right away, because I think there's like a slight delay on the eddy call from Poncho. If we let the eddy go right away, then we would have been in a much safer position, because in that position, Lasagna says like, okay, you didn't call eddy immediately, so I can just safely go for this BT. And even if it doesn't hit you, I'm at least killing the eddy in the process.
Right? The 2S. Oh man, stuck in the sandwich there. Gonna rock in a hard place. Edward's gonna pull out the gun, not wanting to deal with little Eddie at all.
Yeah, not wanting to deal with these BTs either. You can see these air dash backs from Poncho coming through to not have to worry about that, you know, continue to buy time. And also like make it so that Lasagna is like, okay, if I want to anti-air Poncho, I have to commit to an option. And if you commit to that option, it's going to be like that sitting duck in mid-screen. And that's going to buy Poncho even more time for that HP build.
Oh, gets the RC into the 6H. I like going for 6H immediately into drone just to lock Poncho down, getting more damage out of that as well.
Oppose into the frog. What a BT to kill the frog in the air. Yeah, after a certain point, Poncho's like, hey, I gotta get my hands dirty now. I got to close this distance.
No
way
way
to do that.
I cannot believe Lasagna Slayer pressed there. They got caught flinching, right? They didn't believe in just blocking until the laser showed up. And there's the 2H, gets the combo off of the frog.
I've been commentating this game for nearly 5 years, and I've yet to see a Zato go that deep in with a flight. Like, that was crazy. But yeah, no, Poncho, really good job here starting off this round. I mean, look at this advantage. It looks like we might just be seeing that 1-1. We might have that very competitive set right off rip yet again here. And this is a top 8 winner side qualifier, so it better be. You have to respect the burner down super, but we do have access to the break the law, which is very important to have. Other characters don't have that luxury, because with break it down, with break the law, what ends up happening is that we don't get pulled in by the laser, and that's oftentimes what like Goldlewis is trying to fish for, is that we want you to block it. Even if you don't get hit, we want you to block it so it pulls you into Goldlewis's range.
Goldlewis's range is a scary place to be. The 1 apiece here. Poncho doing a good job holding their own against the Typhoon.
Duel 1.
Right back into it. Round start. What's the play going to be? 2S versus Far Slash. Lasagna Slayer not missing a beat immediately, going for that JH afterwards.
Yeah, that's also right there one of the biggest cons of going for a Skyfish in neutral if Eddie is not on the screen just yet, because if Poncho is already in the air, we can just go for that deep flight to punish him for that option. I like the usage of the super as well, catching Lasagna Slayer in the startup of that drone set. And now Poncho getting that knockdown, getting that Eddie setup, doesn't really have a lot to worry about. You do have to worry about the option of YRC if Lasagna Slayer wants to represent that again. But in that position, Poncho had such a huge lead. I don't think we're terribly worth even if YRC did play.
Much love to Onion coming through with $10.95 into the Matcherino, by the way. Appreciate you. Oh my gosh, what a pickup here. Half of your life bar just gone. Backdash getting caught by the air behemoth. Good God.
Let's just go to the next round. Or maybe not. We'll see what Poncho can do here. Oppose, setup. We've seen Poncho take really big single-player sequences against Lasagna Slayers before, and this could potentially be another one. I like that! Baiting out the flight again with the Skyfish, with that PRC backwards. really heads up play there from Lasagna Slayer. And Poncho, unfortunately, spending that burst there, so we're not going to be having that burst resource available to us starting off this final round.
The close session to the 5H, a pose right in your face to make sure that you can't counter poke. Oh no, but the invite, hell, just a bad play to call when Lasagna Slayer's already in the skies. Now nowhere to run. Oh, you're dead.
Is that?
If this is fully churned, you're dead. Yeah, good night.
Down with the system indeed. 2-1 for Lasagna Slayer, getting the lead once again. And it really just came down to, I think the big difference maker was that burst in the previous round. Like, spending that burst like that is just so scary against Goldlewis, because Goldlewis finds that one hit and your health bar is just deleted.
That's what Goldlewis does best, right? Every single hit hurts. And Lasagna Slayer is good at making them all count.
Okay, interesting play there. Going for the 6P on the round start. Not really the best counter poke option, so we have to run in a little bit deeper on round starts and actually make that work, because it's not very horizontally wide. It's more vertical. Sorry, it's horizontally challenged and it's very vertical. So it's really good as an anti-air, but as a counter poke, not so much. Still though, Lasagna Slayer is showing that all of the moves are very useful for Goldlewis. It really just matters. It really just comes down to the context of where it is used, as Lasagna Slayer picks up that perfect and pushes themselves onto set point very quickly.
Oh, just trying to swing back with the Behemoth Typhoon, running into the invite hell. Once again, just stuck between a rock and a hard place. It really feels like the winner of the round is whoever puts the other person in the corner first, right? Obviously, Goldlewis does have good access to that A.B.A 2P, like you mentioned, one of the best reversal pokes in the game, but difficult to deal with when you're just getting smothered.
Right. Like, I would say that it's not nearly as bad for Goldlewis as it is bad for Zato, because Zato, you know, you want to call Eddie, but you can't, and without Eddie, it's like there's not really a whole lot you can do on defense. And, you know, Goldlewis has really good volley options available. All right, going for the burn it down. We're just going to break the law right under. And instead of playing a passive setup approach with burn it down, we're instead going for a much more aggressive run in.
I love the aggressiveness, but able to fly right over the Skyfish.
Good confidence.
Skyfish is risky in this matchup because of how flight works for Zato.
Yeah, and unlike one of the previous rounds, we didn't actually have mirror to PRC it as well. Oh no, that's just it. That's just checkmate.
Yep. Nothing you're going to be able to do there. Didn't have access to any tension or any burst. No.
Both of these characters can snowball so hard.
Yeah, one of the best Mays in the business up against one of the best Rams in the business here today. The SQ. Getting that first blood. Pushing to the corner.
And also not being too hasty with the swords as well. I love how SQ is playing so reserved with that H sword, holding on to it in case we need it, instead just going for the simple stagger pressure with the close slash.
I gotta say, thank you, SQ. It took all this time, but finally got the music selection I've been asking for. Really want to stay at your house for this matchup. 2K2D catches the backdash.
Into the throw, into the corner as well. And now we're just playing that stagger pressure game. Once again, I love how SQ is not playing, is like playing very reserved with how we use our swords. And I also love how we're mixing in those 6 H's as well for the frame traps. All right, H sword coming through, baiting out a response from totsubunger. Once again, baiting out a response with totsubunger. I mean, you're in a great position to do so. You have that sword on top of totsubunger, and they have to respect that explosion. And if they don't, well, they're just going to get blown up. So SQ can kind of just do whatever we want in that sequence. And now totsubunger can do a lot now that we have SQ with our back up against the wall, or maybe not for long, because we're going to be spending that meter to get our way out.
Oh, it just jumped to the other side, straight into the close slash. The most honest left-right mix you can think of. Just bids. And SQ be able to take first.
We're not calling Ramlethal flip cross-ups honest.
That wasn't a flip cross-up. That was just a neutral jump to the other side.
Oh, you're talking about that one. Okay.
Yeah, just jump to the other side, straight into close slash. That's all it was.
All right.
Duel 1.
Yeah, I mean, like, I, even as a Ramlethal player, can't really call a lot of what he does honest.
No, this character's not honest. That was honest, but this character is full of a lot of lies. A lot of dis.
2K just poking and prodding at totsubunger, waiting to see what we do. Stage 5K check on the Dolphin, but no Dolphin coming out. First from SQ. Ooh, okay, air dash forward, JS counter hit. That's going to be actually pretty darn big. Finishing off the Rekka as well for the damage for that corner carry as well. That throw from totsubunger going to be putting SQ into the corner instead, however. Great block on that overhead. YRC gets blocked.
Oh, and what a clean round. totsubunger fighting back here. Of course, kicks in. Patience runs right into the far slash.
Yeah, notice that we're also close enough to the corner as well, where we can actually combo off of that far slash and that 214H to get that wall break as well. Just really good combo awareness from SQ, and I like the pressure that we're seeing so far as well. There it is, the 50-50 off of the float after the drift forward VRC in the air.
Oh, look at the spacing here. SQ with the movement, just getting out of range of that 2S and able to score a perfect. That was a long perfect too.
Interesting, going for the Ondo and the 214S. 214S does not actually catch out that Dolphin, however, but still SQ in a pretty decent spot. 5K going to be catching SQ, trying to jump out of the corner. 3K also going to be catching SQ. I don't think we pressed the button like far slash, but regardless, we found that hit, and that's really what matters to keep that momentum going here for totsubunger. And the great Yamada-san going to be sending SQ through the wall, shattering the glass, and running up for that throw. This should be enough as we do get that wall bounce.
Nice little overhead hiss for totsubunger to tie things up for this top 8 qualifier match. The last chance to get in on the winner's side.
All right, yeah, good. I like the usage of the overhead kiss as well, and you can tell that totsubunger was also just quickly on top of the spacing, knowing that that overhead kiss was going to be getting that wall bounce, and it also prevents SQ from doing two things. It prevents SQ from getting that command grab, and you know, if I don't think we had burst in that moment, but if we had burst, you know, maintaining that meter as well is also very important.
Ooh, okay. Able to get that wall splat there with those JPs into the up dolphin for the positive bonus. Have a little bit of a meter advantage here. Beautiful anti-air far slash. Yeah, both these characters with such good poking normals. A.B.A is so disjointed as well.
And 5H Dolphin, Red RC, and SQ just not breaking. I mean, it is all just mids. Hey, honest pressure. I'm just kidding. don't kill me for that. But SQ is looking to kill totsubunger with that cross up Ondo. That's not cross up Ondo. Cross up flip there. And let's see, we still have enough meter to keep this pressure going, even if we toss both our swords. OTG, Ondo there coming through and finally sending out the last sword toss. BRC and into the throat yet again.
Start scenario going for that 2S once again. Cornerstone poke there for A.B.A. Now creating that space, staying outside of the far slash range. So you gotta worry less about the far slash sometimes and more about that 2K.
Okay, JD. Ooh, keeping those plus frames. Oh no, Jobber. Oh, yeah. This now this feels bad. 2K going to check SQ, trying to advance forward. We didn't have meter to guarantee any pressure sequence immediately afterwards, but we saw that positive bonus, obviously. So advancing forward is all we need to be able to gain enough meter to continue pressuring totsubunger after. Once again, SQ playing so reserved, just really showing that Ramlethal is definitely a threat, even if we aren't playing completely aggressive.
Big opportunity now here for SQ, though. Get into that top 8 on the winner's side. No Jack to stop SQ's run here tonight.
No Jack indeed, but the May could still very well end this run here on the winner side for SQ, but we'll have to see SQ still in such a good position and playing this matchup so well as well here. Dolphin coming through, 3K, the 3K, getting that small hit, getting the overhead kiss. Oh, Totsubunger's golden.
That 2H to break the wall. Dashing deep on in. Oh, but with the back throw, and now SQ in the driver's seat, getting the close slash. This is gonna be massive. Look at the damage on that.
Oh God. JK finds a hit, but we couldn't actually confirm off of that. Into the throw. Oh no. Throw again. Throw again. No. Okay. Mixing it up with the back dash JS instead. 5K. 5K. 2K. 2D. And we can just run in for the 2K. OTG. SQ finding the comeback against Totsubunger. And now just one more round is all we need. What spacing as well. You can see Totsubunger trying to poke with those lows, but SQ playing just outside of the range and then punishing immediately afterwards with the 2K of our own.
Okay. Oh, ran right into the 2S this time. What a pickup from Totsubunger. Both these players squeezing out as much damage as possible from every stray conversion.
And also, once again, I mean, I just want to highlight these really good FD timing from Totsubunger as well. You know, especially after we toss both our swords, using that FD is very important because if SQ tries to go for something like 2K2D, you can see that it creates so much space between Ram and the May. And that's exactly what you want to see as Totsubunger because SQ's normals have been heavily nerfed without those swords. And Totsubunger still has that anchor in, I want to say the back pocket, but I think that's a little too big there. Unless we have, unless we have the cartoon Bugs Bunny pockets. I don't know, Looney Tunes pockets. Either way, SQ is looking unfrazzled. Gold Burst, though, is huge here for Totsubunger, getting that positive bonus, forcing it, in fact. But I don't know if we're going to be able to even spend this meter in the first place. Babados for the Guts Crush.
No!
That didn't even combo! Totsubunger just resigned.
They just gave up. They didn't believe. This is why you always hold back.
As they can going into the event, but here we go. RedIAmNot on the Goldlewis, UMISHO on the Leo, White Fang, and almost immediately you can see what makes Leo play so well into a character like
a lot of the times it is the flash kick, right? Flash kick just being a great equalizer to any kind of behemoth pressure because whenever you go for a behemoth, there is a gap right like that. But that flash was insane. Both players ready for it. And now, wow, going for the blitz.
I used to like take a minute to register it because you never see anyone use it. I was like, is this a new super from Leo? Like, oh wait, never mind, it's just the system mechanics.
Yeah, just counter blitz. You never really get to see counter blitz outside of either Slayer or Lucy, right?
Yeah, but the reason why UMISHO would want to go for it is because we had plenty of burst meter left, but also we want to preserve the amount of meter we had as well, because with that 100 meter, we want to hold onto as much of it as possible, and also maybe not get that meter penalty from using a super to break the wall. But we're in a pretty dicey spot, and RedIAmNot has siphoned all of that meter away from UMISHO, but UMISHO playing just close enough where we're outside of the range that RedIAmNot's buttons will reach, but also just close enough where if RedIAmNot tries to lock into a drone, tries to lock into a skyfish, then UMISHO will be able to punish effectively.
Ooh, get a punch effectively here. The overhead, able to score the counter hit with the back turn S, and gonna get the wall splat, opting not to break the wall with the meter, right? Just wants to build up full tension here to snowball.
Okay, 2P check there on back turn stance, breaking UMISHO out of it and letting RedIAmNot set up that drone, set up these BTs here in the corner, tries to go for a low check there, but unfortunately, UMISHO not within that range. Flash kick comes out, but gets clipped by the low, trying to approach yet again. RedIAmNot just continuing to set up these low walls that's preventing UMISHO from advancing forward. We're seeing it once again right there.
Okay, hell of a button. Remember, in 2.0, all of Goldlewis's normals pretty much got buffed, so a much better poking character. Not that he was a bad poking character before, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, and that's another big thing too, is that our buttons are long enough and disjointed enough to where we can just poke straight through the drone. UMISHO also representing that, and also just the spacing, I mean, is perfect. So like, we're poking through the drone, but also we're just far enough where we can recover and then still not get hit by the drone as well. So it's really just a spacing game that UMISHO is playing, a very neutral game as well. It's like, we're not really wanting to get put on defense against Goldlewis, because yes, we have the flash kick, but you know, you never want to be on defense against Goldlewis. So we are trying our best to prevent that and just win neutral. And Leo just, you know, while Goldlewis did get buffs on those buttons, Leo's buttons are just way more versatile.
Right. Incredibly versatile character. And again, that flash kick being the great equalizer on dealing with the Behemoth Typhoon pressure. And that 2S getting a big buff as well. That button is terrifying.
Okay, interesting. Holding that parry stance for just a little bit. Unfortunately, RedIAmNot not able to really capitalize off of that parry being held, but we'll be able to capitalize off of that throw, completely whiffing on the side of UMISHO.
Oh, and the cross up, some big Milia action. The plus frames on the large overhead. Fast RC into the overhead, double overhead, but that second one is going to whiff. UMISHO taking the opportunity to blitz out of the corner.
That cross up, there's the slash coming through. And then the drone as well. UMISHO just playing very passive, backing it all the way up. There really is no reason for UMISHO to actually advance in that moment, because RedIAmNot also isn't pressuring UMISHO with something like Burn It Down. We didn't have the mirror to do so.
Flash kick RC. Great blocks here from Red. Now just gonna take space, but the flash kick straight through the Behemoth Typhoon. It's so difficult to deal with as a Goldlewis player, because you don't want to just give up your turn, right?
Right. Flash kick once again, just such a good move to throw out against Goldlewis. H flash kick reaching so far. 5 PM here.
Y'all seen that video of the dude with the like dreads just cosplaying Wolverine going Berserker Barrage, Berserker Barrage? That's all I think about now when I watch Leo.
When you see that new move from oh my gosh, that comboed? What the heck?
That was crazy, actually. But there we go, far slash swinging back. God, I miss Wild Assault mods, this guy.
Onion, have you played with Wild Assault?
Oh,
like,
there's the 2H.
Anyways, yeah, H going to get that wall flat against RedIAmNot and get that wall break as well. Oh no, the Yos providing the backup.
The guy under the bridge.
UMISHO makes this matchup look awful for Goldlewis because it's not good.
It is. This is not a good matchup for Goldlewis. Just straight up. It's not. Having access to flash kick, really reversal option means that Goldlewis can't just kind of autopilot into the pressure with the Behemoth Typhoons. So Goldlewis has to think, has to try and bait those out, and sometimes you just give up your turn.
Okay, I like the usage of that particular BT, preventing UMISHO from jumping over the drone, and instead actually sending UMISHO back into the drone as well. And I'm not, unfortunately, not able to keep that corner position though. Like, Leo is such a slippery character when it comes to getting those cross-ups. But this time the spacing wasn't quite as tight as we've been seeing from UMISHO so far, as we did get caught by that drone in mid-screen.
Here we go. Berserker Barrage.
Okay, flash
To
kick,
the
red
RC.
RC extension.
Yeah, you're dead here. Doesn't even need the wall. Oh, does actually need the wall break.
Yeah, we need
I don't think you would have needed it, but
no,
the bounce
you
off
needed
the wall would have been enough.
No, yeah, I think the scale is too much, Jobber. I think we definitely needed it.
We'll never know though. UMISHO able to
guess
get
not.
that anyway. Nice backdash on that Behemoth Typhoon. The confidence with which UMISHO is playing here.
Wow, the 5P check, knowing when that drone was, going to stop right there. Holding the parry and rushing forward, getting that punish. Man, I am really loving.
Oh, that's a parry. Never mind.
Okay, we are at full security gauge. Interesting. 5P clash, Skyfish, yeah.
Yeah, that was a scramble. Big scramble there.
The idea there was UMISHO wanted to set up that projectile as fast as possible to prevent Skyfish from being set up, but just didn't quite reach Goldlewis in time.
The RC, get the extra plus frames, and there it is. Flash kick right out of the Behemoth Typhoon. But nice JD jump over. Even after all the nerfs, JD still a generational button, but so is 5P. Did you see the range on that?
I did. 2K2D, BT, Skyfish, Ender. No, we're going to deny that with the burst. UMISHO, last hurrah here in this round. Can we make it? No, we cannot. Not close enough to check the Skyfish. That is going to be it there. RedIAmNot now finally getting a point on the board to go 1-2 against UMISHO, preventing that 3-0 finish.
I'll put in a position that a lot of players put in tonight. That reverse 3-0 scenario, a tall mountain climb, especially against an Evo champion like UMISHO, but these two have faced off time and time again.
Yeah, this is one of many, and here's to many more. Maybe even more later on in this tournament. I would not be against a grand finals between these two players. That does seem very likely here. But we'll see how this one ends up shaking out. Whoever is on that winner's side is always going to be in a much better position, as we don't have to worry about that reset. Here we go. RedIAmNot going to be trading with UMISHO here in a neutral, but UMISHO still just playing as solid as ever, controlling neutral with these buttons, with this movement as well, making it so that RedIAmNot just always so scared of, like, okay, which button can I actually safely press? Which move can I actually safely press without getting punished by UMISHO with one of our normals like a 4/1 or 5 H coming through.
Sending out the laser. Oh, goes for the YRC. Woo! Had the 100 tension, so opted to spend it, and now sitting at set point.
$2K is like, all right, please run into it, please. Thank you. UMISHO, though, not going to do that. Drone comes out. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, get this fireball out of here, swinging straight through it, but finally letting the flash kick rip. Not going to be able to hold that behemoth, or not going to hold that behemoth pressure forever, I should say. Not when you don't have to. But full 52 hits.
Flash kick. Just out of that sticky situation, but we're going straight back into it. Out of the fire, but not quite out of trouble here. UMISHO in a difficult position, kind of in dire straits with that health pool right now, but RedIAmNot also in a pretty difficult spot here. At least maybe not. Skyfish again.
Great patience, but tried to go for the reversal there. RedIAmNot starting to slow things down, starting to bait out these flash kicks. That's where you're going to get a lot of your reward in this matchup here.
Okay, first into Skyfish, just gonna block it out. Not gonna FD it though. We're not too worried about the chip right there. So just want to preserve that meter in case we do find a hit.
Crouching Tiger hidden flash kick. Let me tell you, we've been seeing so many of them in this game. And UMISHO,
is that it? Oh my god!
Oh!
Okay, right. Fireball, catching RedIAmNot on the landing. Blocking the BT, good job. And catching the drone being set up. 6K, giving him the knee.
so many scenarios where UMISHO just let the 5K rip.
This match is both these players are ready to let it rip. Lasagna Slayer on the Goldlewis, SQ on the Ramlethal, and we're already seeing that Skyfish knockdown here against SQ from full screen, going to let us run up, establish some sort of pressure, but good FDs from SQ, going to push Lasagna Slayer out just enough to give us that space to breathe.
Going for the OTG with the close slash.
Okay, 5H into the sword toss, 2K, 2K, 2D, 5K check on the Lasagna Slayer. I mean, just such a big character that 5K can reach pretty easily.
Oh!
So, down with the system, also such a big super. So of course it's going to land there on SQ in that moment. And look how much damage we have been able to get on SQ so far.
There's a lot of big things about this character, Salté Boi. A lot of big things about big old Goldlewis. Oh, but that late air dash there. You ready to board the Zato missing? What a drop!
That's crazy.
I've never seen that.
It's so H sword is the one that extends it horizontally. S sword extends it vertically. So I think SQ just didn't get close enough for that Moriball to actually connect.
Here we go. Gonna connect this time. Squeezing out a chunk of damage. Pressure here in the corner. Difficult for Lasagna Slayer to deal with pressure in the corner. Not Lasagna Slayer, to say just Goldlewis in general, right? The sword explosions do a really good job at locking Goldlewis down because he's a big body and he doesn't have access to a double jump, right? So there's just not a lot of room for him to escape.
Yes, but once again, you always have those solid body options. 2K, you can see right there. 2P, another strong example. If SQ is going to be playing within the range of it, because oftentimes they're not actually going to be in the range of that with the buttons that we're going to be holding onto. Like, you know, we have access to the 5H usually after, like during the sword pressure, or sometimes S sword as well for /JS. Just continue to take up space on this screen. BT in the air into the Skyfish. Is it enough? Yes, it is. Lasagna Slayer going to be starting us off strong with one game over SQ.
I'm telling you, it's the Nyx power-up. The Nyx colors there on Lasagna Slayer.
Yep, the Nyx winning, and yeah, no, it's imparting all that energy onto Lasagna Slayer to take that first game win over SQ into what we said it was a unfavorable matchup. So let's see if we can continue to maintain that energy into going into the rest of this set here. Lasagna Slayer starting off this next round strong yet again here, putting SQ on the defense almost immediately. We're seeing some small just defense here and there, and you have to just defend a character like a Goldlewis. Look at the damage. You can tell like SQ is just so scared to press because dude, you press, it's like you just die, and hey, if you're blocking all two, you also die as well. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. Still though, SQ able to maintain a lot of meter in the process. So we did have that 100 meter to spend, and we also have yet another 100 meter to spend as well in this position. Spaced out that dust will connect with Lasagna Slayer overhead and uses a burst there on that combo. Interestingly enough, Doro coming through, but unfortunately not able to find the combo. I think SQ was trying to bank on us getting 100 meter after the Daro hit so that we could get that Red RC extension, but we didn't get there.
Unfortunate. That was almost such a great play there from SQ, but now he is 1 foot back on her heel, trying to fight back to gain more ground. And there's the burst. Doesn't allow Lasagna Slayer to halt the momentum. Whoa, the Daru right underneath, but has to deal with burn it down one more time. Oh, it gets caught really trying to toss the sword.
Yeah, I like the idea once again, but I don't know, maybe we're just playing too aggressive into burn it down here. I think the Dara play was great there. Dara play was great, but we just kind of misjudged how much meter we were going to gain. Honestly, I thought we were going to have 100 meter after that Dara connected, but this game is a fickle beast sometimes.
Can be. Can be indeed, but that's going to put Lasagna Slayer at a firm 2-0 lead here against SQ. Pretty quick set so far, actually. These matches are going at a breakneck speed. No one slowing down at all.
Not at all. And if we're going to be like, if we're going to be seeing this last game as anything similar to what we saw in game 1 and game 2, it's just probably going to be another quick one here for Lasagna Slayer. So SQ taking a little bit of time to think, reset our mental, and go into this game number 3. We want to be on the winner side in a bracket like this. So let's see how this is going to fare as we get right into it. Could potentially be the last game of this set, and we're just going to let the overhead BT rep raw just like that. All right, interesting. Bar slash, sword toss, 214H, and the sword explosion will guarantee us the wall flat into the wall break. Level 3 security gauge on the side of Lasagna Slayer though, so if SQ plays a little too passive, then Lasagna Slayer will have that in the back pocket to use, whether it's the drone, whether it's the Skyfish. I think Lasagna Slayer was trying to go for that in the moment where we went for that air back dash, but because SQ was walking forward and contesting that space, Lasagna Slayer knew that we could not safely go for that in that moment. Mortabato going to send Lasagna Slayer through the wall once again. Hard knockdown. SQ though having that mirror disadvantage at the moment though. 6P going to deny us that block on the sword toss, but it does not deny the exposure. So Lasagna Slayer still had to hold that position.
And ended up getting tossed there by SQ, but now Lasagna Slayer back on the offensive. There's the overhead into the OTG.
BT again. And the low hit that time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have no meter. We have no burst. We have deflect shield, but honestly, why would you spend deflect shield in a position like this? And there it is. The gross flip across the...
Just going for the hard knockdown here. No tension, though, going to be gained from that. So they're just trying to get as much momentum as possible.
Okay, there it is. Here we so scary about pressing 2P sometimes.
Yep, Mortabato once again. We're looping the Oki, but you have to be careful. 100 tension there on Lasagna Slayer's side. Gonna go for the burst. Immediately goes for burn it down. Oh my god, the behemoth reached far enough. Set point for Lasagna Slayer.
Yeah, that was actually insane how far it reached. But just a really solid play to guarantee us that win right there. SQ did not have enough mirror to take the chip damage off of the burn down, and surely we also did not have enough mirror to take a hit off of that behemoth typhoon as well there. SQ though looking a lot better in this round, and as I say that, we got tossed into the corner. This time though, we have more resources to play with. We have the Mortabato right there, as you can see, and we also are able to maintain that burst as well. So if we get put on defense once again, then we do have that option to break out.
Nice harassment with the 5K. Ooh, the delay on the final hit of the Reckon. SQ gets a point on the board. Also, SQ has to press so many buttons to win. It's such a funny sentence. I love that.
We've gone full circle. We hate Goldlewis so much to where we are saying that Ramlethal has to work hard.
I'm straight up gonna use that. I have to press so many buttons to win. I just love, I love that sentence so much. And yeah, the idea here is that SQ is trying to keep the offense rolling even when the burn it down super comes out, because when burn it down happens, it kind of forces you into a situation where you have to block the overhead low behemoth coming. If Goldlewis does it fast enough, he can actually combo off of the laser.
Oh, wow. 5K going to be checking that overhead behemoth. Not spaced out far enough to where that would whiff. Great play there from SQ. Unfortunately, not able to keep that momentum going after we find that check. And Lasagna Slayer instead is going to be able to keep that momentum going. But that Mortabato going to be that stop sign, keeping Lasagna Slayer from advancing forward here. Small
Stop
trade.
Oh,
trade
that
again there. Or not trade,
I can't believe
clash there.
They were ready to go for another Behemoth Typhoon after the clash.
Are we gonna spend burst? Okay, we do spend burst. I'm sorry, jobbers. That sword explosion was so funny to me.
This character, the sword explosion, but SQ now starting to mount a comeback slowly but surely. Trade actually gonna be in SQ's favor there, preventing Lasagna Slayer from pressing the offensive. See Lasagna Slayer trying to get more aggressive when one of the swords is gone, right? Knows that that is one of Ram's tools locked away for a short amount of time, and that is your period, your opportunity to take advantage.
Yeah, but at the same time, oftentimes in mid-screen, we're tossing the H sword, and it's like, we're not really using 5H the most anyways. Like, Far Slash is our most versatile tool. But like you said, like, you know, that is a button that has been nerfed by having a sword not being available to SQ. So it is, once again, still good to push that aggression regardless. And also just create that distance between Ramlethal and the sword as well. We saw a little bit with totsubunger and SQ before where we would go for the throw to toss SQ as far away as possible from the swords. And we're going to be seeing a little bit of it here as well, where SQ was very far away from that other sword. So it took a little bit of time for us to get it back.
There's the burst, though, setting out the drone once again. Rising JP to lock you down. Low altitude air throw into the RC. SQ taking this to game 5.
My mouth is agape right now. That was an insane air throw coming in from SQ, and things were looking so good from Lasagna Slayer with that 2-0 lead. But just like that, SQ even things up, preventing this from being a clean sweep from Lasagna Slayer, and instead giving us a fight for our lives as we are now game number 5, the game that decides it all. Who is going to be in winners finals playing against UMISHO? As we'll have to see as we see Lasagna Slayer versus SQ play at least two more rounds here. 6H going to be sending Lasagna Slayer closer to the corner almost immediately into the S-sword toss as well, into the throw as well to get even more damage on board.
Oh, the cut off, trying to escape that rising. JP is so aggressive at locking you down into the corner. And the fact that Ram can just cover it, even if you don't jump thanks to the explosion, makes it even more brutal.
Yeah, it's like what you said before too, where Goldlewis has limited air options. So JP is such a good way to jail the opponent from escaping the corner.
Jailed him in the air, jailed him on the ground. Ram looking like a top 8 Warden right now. BRC mix up. Wow, that JP actually whiffing was a little too high on the BRC.
Alright, 2K2D, Ondo. Yep, 5K check. We're plus.
Oh, the 2H hitting raw, actually trying to bait out the burst there too. SQ now just in the flow state.
Also, okay, burst, drone.
Finally able to escape thanks to that JD. Opposite say same side, into the low, gonna connect, blue beat combo. Same side once again, but unable to confirm off of it.
Okay. Oh no!
Are you dead?
No, surely not, right?
Yes, you are! Fully churned! When you see the glass, it's your ass!
Alright, S-sword toss. Now we still have the A-sword here for the corner. We're going to spend it right here. Yeah, our pressure would have ended if we didn't use that right there. We didn't have the mirror to extend it. S finally coming back, so we're going to be popping it right there on Lasagna Slayer. 2K2D, 5K, 2K2D. Tries to set up the sword, but we set up the wrong sword there.
That was Lasagna Slayer's chance to escape from the corner. They might not get another one. 100 tension and burst here on SQ's side.
Okay, oh my gosh, the stagger pressure coming through, deflect shield, but we still have the H sword to catch you. What do you think you're doing? And Poncho actually going to be rocking with the Unika instead of the Zato.
I like this. I think Unika just kind of like dumped on a lot of characters in this game, Chipp included. So let's see.
K2D, tightrope, cross up. So far, Sloth is looking pretty darn good. Into the super as well. Cross up. Cross again. No, same side. Ooh, but we didn't block the multi-hit of the overhead. All right. That was pretty clean there from Sloth to close out round number 1. To the next one. Cross up here. Sloth, same side this time. This time Poncho. We're gonna make sure that we hold high just for a little bit longer so we don't get hit by the second hit. But still no, Sloth able to close that distance so fast. Here's some of that wall climb combos here. And we're just gonna keep Poncho in the corner. No wall break there until now. And now we're gonna be having that positive bonus available. 100-meter on deck for Sloth as well. Nearly full health in the tank, and Poncho looking a little worse for wear. A single cross up like so will be able to do the job. Sloth now 1-0 over Poncho, very quick in fact. Sloth's like, oh my gosh, it is bedtime for me right now. I gotta make sure that I can finish this as quickly as possible.
What the hell happened?
It was just 2 chip rounds back to back. That's all I can say.
Oh, I thought with the speed that
Chipp
Chipp died.
Yeah, no. We're just going back to Zato. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think Zato was the correct play from the start. I mean, Unika's like, the thing about Unika is like she has solid buttons, but like, the thing about Zato is that while you do have more weaknesses, you also have bigger strengths, right? So you're min-maxed in that sense, and I think you're always going to be better off playing characters like that. But, you know, maybe I'm smoking something here. Burst comes out, and oh my gosh, that was a burst all the way up from Kaneda there. Sloth going to be setting Poncho through the wall for that. So much damage as well.
This better believe it was that Uzumaki barrage. Keeping the pressure up. Nice. Look at the pickup there with the leapfrog.
The burst super does come out, but it's not going to be enough damage for the kill. Holding on to that burst as their resource. 100 meters still in the tank. YRC going to kill that Eddie. Now we're just going to harass Poncho. We're going to run up, close that distance as fast as possible with the leapfrog. We're going to catch Sloth, and I like the usage of the leapfrog there as well because the Sloth tried to run on the tightrope like we saw before. It would have caught Sloth immediately. I think that's also why Sloth didn't opt to jump onto it.
Clean air throw too, putting you right back into the corner. Triple overhead, just misses the confirm afterwards, unfortunately. The backdash trying to go for that 2H. Frog once again. Oh, this time goes low into the meat tenderizer. Take it to the skies to summon the sword. Get that little Eddie gauge full.
There's the tightrope. And tightrope also setting up a little bit higher than usual as well. The idea behind that is that we want to have it just at that perfect Zato flight height. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. No. Beta Blade is going to kill Eddie, but Zato is completely safe to do whatever he wants.
So phenomenal. Poncho, I think you were right. Making the swap to Zato was the correct play here. They looked much more comfortable and in charge. Able to really shut down the movement there of Sloth.
Yeah, and also having options like Oppose is really good. Frog is really good as well to cover more parts of the screen. I think Oppose is another big one. We haven't really seen Oppose too much coming out from Poncho, but I feel like it's also going to be pretty relevant here because Chipp can go for linear approaches sometimes, and especially if we're constantly going for cross-ups, Oppose can kind of help alleviate the guesswork.
Yeah, Chipp is very linear in terms of like how he approaches a lot of the time, right? When you compare the two like pixies between Milia and Chipp, Chipp is quicker in some ways, but definitely more horizontal, whereas Milia is very vertical.
Yeah, there is the frog coming in once again. Sloth has to be careful about how we take to the air because of how Poncho is representing that follow-up from Eddie. Doing the drills, great block on that first overhead, but unfortunately not the second overhead, and that's going to allow Poncho to combo straight into the sword, resetting the Eddie gauge and setting us up for another Eddie sequence. It is Oppose coming through, try to go for that throw right there, but Sloth heads up, getting that tech. Now able to set up the tightrope, trying to set up our pressure sequence, our mix-up gang, cross-up coming through. Poncho still has that burst available. I feel like Poncho may be looking to spend burst as well in this round because we brought him pretty set up so far. We just need that one hit here against Sloth, so we time it perfectly. Should be good. We do have the mirror for the red RC extension, and oh my gosh, we held that burst bait really, really long. Sloth didn't bite, but still got caught up by Eddie.
There's just a deep run up throw from Sloth, getting the plus frames there too with that Gamma Blade. But running right into the Pierce, and now Poncho again utilizing Little Eddie as a stop sign here. Prevent Sloth from moving on the ground. Oh, that was a nice Drunkard Shade.
Yeah, see that pose. Look at that. Like, it takes away the guesswork. Overhead. Super's not going to be enough, so we're just going to reset it. No? Okay, yeah. Super coming through. Ah, no, I don't believe in it. One more mix-up. I like the backdash coming out from Poncho because Sloth in these positions wants to get like really quick and easy cross-ups. So we go for the diagonal Alpha Blade, and because of that, you know, a simple backdash will be able to avoid it, and it kind of puts Chipp into an awkward position. Not like a bad position, but definitely an awkward one, where Poncho has... Poncho's like in a more favorable position to do more things to counteract Sloth falling down.
That was a beautiful jump out of the Alpha Blade attempt, but Sloth still able to catch Poncho, getting that burst out. And now Little Eddie is gone. Sloth needs to smell the blood in the water, but what a whiff punish on that 5P. Poncho. Oh, blocking the YRC. You are donezo. Poncho going up 2-1.
Yeah, Sloth is just playing so hasty here on defense. You know, popping these YRCs like that. And YRC against Zato is good, but Zato, you know, the way puppet characters are going to work is that they're going to be taking turns, you know, covering each other. And because of that, Zato has so many ways to keep the pressure going while also staying safe from reversals like that.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, but it's really tough. You know, Sloth does really excellent when he's able to get his pressure started, once he can actually like start to play the game here against Zato, get that early knockdown. But once Poncho gets started, once we get into the Eddie pressure, then it seems like Sloth is just completely breaking down, unsure of how to really properly approach it.
Now just need to figure out a way to get out of the corner here, swinging with their back up against the ropes, and Poncho able to bait out the YRC, or actually just too far away from the YRC. Didn't need to even bait anything, but does end up baiting out the burst and closing out this round with a super.
Yeah, no, Sloth's just completely unable to get his turn. The Unika, switch off of Unika into the Zato has proven to work out so well here for Poncho. A post set up, yeah, Sloth trying to run in deep, but suddenly cannot press any more buttons and then has to respect that pressure from Poncho. USC forward into that throw, using that as a pause button, seeing what Sloth is going for, seeing that it's going to stay grounded, so we just go for that throw. Should be able to get the wall break here into the super. Yeah, we're just going to go for, oh, interesting, we'll go for the third one. I know Poncho likes to go for the damage super. I don't think it would have killed, but it would have gotten pretty close. But instead, we're just going to refill that Eddie gauge and really just guarantee that we can get that Eddie pressure started and we can do as much as we can after that post wall break situation. Nice mix up there from Sloth.
And gonna be looking at the wall break here. Just goes for the JD. Opts not to go for the hard knockdown. Wants the meter to spend in neutral. Rising JK gets the wall bounce, but misses the 6H.
No, not like this.
That losing draw.
Tries to bait out the burst, but no burst comes out from Sloth. Sloth. It's the throw. We're in the game. We're still in the game. And still holds on to the burst as well. Sloth is like, dude, stop burst baiting. Or burst bait me more, because Poncho just keeps dropping these combos in an attempt to do so. Early burst from Poncho as well. I like the usage of that air button right there from Poncho. Very active, catching Sloth, trying to go for that aerial approach, and now we're in a difficult position once again here. ERC4, seeing that we're pressing a button, so we can go for that DP pretty safely here, but now Sloth is not in a safe position because Poncho is able to find that combo straight into the super. I told you classified play. I was like very willing to toss it out from time to time. 5K also another really good tool I mean, it's also good into a lot of matchups where you can check those approaches, and those approaches, once again, pretty linear from Ino, so you have that available as a much quicker option if she's close to you. 6P, great anti-air there from Fishy, from Classified on FishyFishy.
Look at this, just stagger pressure into the BRC. Just goes for the mid there, but still throw into RC is gonna be enough to close out the round.
Got the 7 letters showing off on the screen there. Classified taking that one with a perfect round start. A J214S. Very interesting play. Very interesting play with the gold burst coming in from FishyFishy as well. We did get a little bit of meter right there to work with, so we use that on our approach like so. The dive, Red RC. Now we're able to set up the note, and now Classified has to respect this riser here. Red RC built up yet again, so Classified had to hold it, but not for long. We're really good at just mashing out of this Eno pressure, and it looks like we're also going to be able to get that corner carry as well.
Nice. No hard knockdown though, but we'll take the meter, especially with the life lead here. Gonna immediately go for the RC burst from FishyFishy, just trying to stay alive.
A bit of a inspired air throw attempt from Classified, I will say.
Trying to go for the cool stuff.
Trade. That's gonna be enough. We don't have the meter. Classified still hanging on, and that's gonna be the stroke immediately after.
Oh, and the 2S at round start. I like that option. Tripping you up with 2K2D, but Classified with this gold burst, man.
All right, H-Sword toss, going to now put FishyFishy here in the corner for a little bit, but not for long. FishyFishy, I love the aggression of just running right on out of the corner. At the very least, with Eno, you do have that hover dash, which gives you a little bit of movement, I think, to get outside of that sword explosion range. But still, weird movement, so it's not going to be the most orthodox and really the best way to get out compared to other characters. But, you know, still pretty useful to have. Here we go. Okay, yeah, just simple, safe jump JPs.
That Classified taking a lead here. Game number 1. Loser side of the bracket, so your last chance at life. Why are you seeing FD while they are attacking? If you're seeing the player FD on offense, what they're doing is they're FD breaking.
Yes.
So when you're dashing forward, if you immediately hold back, when you hold back after dashing forward, you kind of have a bit of an animation where you go into like kind of a slide. There's a bit of recovery, right, on your dash. But if you FD it, you immediately cut that recovery.
It's an Arc System Works thing. All the Arc System Works games are like this. Like BlazBlue's the same way. Here we go. 2K2D burst comes out. And we're just going to go wall flip just like so, and it ends up working out there on FishyFishy. 214H with a sword, so a little bit more damage than would have been otherwise. Okay, bar slash just right above that bar slash as well, so FishyFishy going to be able to punish that one, and it goes straight into the super wall break as well. You do want to be worried about what this wake up option from Classified will be though, however, or maybe not, but now we're going to have to worry about this next wake up option. Looks like, no, that's enough.
Yeah, incredible rounder from FishyFishy, finally swinging back. And the FD breaking does, yeah, like you said, it's an Arc System Works thing, comes from past games. In past Guilty Gear games, your recovery on your dash, you actually could not block during it, so FD breaking was very important. In Strive, you can block on your dash recovery, but FD breaking still is a high-level skill that just allows you to get into the offensive a little bit more.
Charge dust. Probably didn't have enough time to go for that 214H right there. Still though, good damage there on that wall break. FishyFishy. Not in the worst position, I would say. I mean, now we have the corner. We have some resources to spend, as we can see with the red RC. And we're going to be able to get the wall break right here. Wall break does mean that you are out of the corner, and Eno doesn't have her pressure any longer though, so Classified will be able to play neutral against this character, as you can see there with that air throw to catch Eno, and also just let that sword rip, the H sword, tossing it from all the way at full screen to get that chip kill.
Harassing with those low options.
All right, 2K2D, we got the knockdown. We also got the air backdash, JK overhead, tech coming through. Dive, red RC, immediate burst coming out from Classified. We want to keep FishyFishy here in this corner, backing up, but not close enough for far slash to connect with Classified. And now we're going to be going back to mid-screen. We're going to have to wait a little bit for the H sword to come back, but it looks like it is back right here, right now. Not going to be able to use it just yet. FishyFishy going to take our turn here. Counter it, that is big.
It's absolutely massive here, but the wake up 5P Classified, not afraid of anything, says you don't have any meter. This isn't real. And now turn the tables, gets the counter hit, close slash, and Classified takes a 2-0 lead.
Very brave from FishyFishy right there to press on that sword explosion, but sometimes you just got to do it. Okay, 2-0 for Classified. We're gonna be seeing our first 3-0 of top 8.
That was a really good position for FishyFishy as well. Just unfortunately, the mix-up that they went for was not tight enough. Classified with that wake up 5 monument.
Notes, interesting. Gold burst on defense there against FishyFishy, not wanting to have to play that defense game against, you know. Stroke, red RC. Okay, yeah, there it is. Up in the air for just a little bit, but falls quickly down so we can block that YRC. Whew. Okay. I like the delay there on the sword explosion. FishyFishy, maybe, I don't know what we were trying to press there. I think that was a throw tag, but I couldn't quite see with all the noise on the screen.
A lot of noise on the screen for these two characters for sure. But nice far slash into the heavy slash. Going for the windshield wiper. So much corner carry on that.
Daro will get that wall splat, so we just go into the Mortabato.
Oh, 6P through the sword. That was huge there for FishyFishy, but Classified. No room for error here. Just going to go for the immediate burst to try and keep the offense up. Still ends up losing the momentum.
Just get the wall splat. Wow, fastball BRC coming through. Doesn't get the combo. Very scrambly. No combo again. Punish throw. Deflect shield into the 5H. That is gross. Gonna trade once again. Classified not scared. Interesting. Yeah, we just try to go for that raw Rekka right there. Bit of startup tied to that move, so FishyFishy able to counter poke with that low and get that punish. Or I guess that counter hit. 2H sword gets that explosion as well.
Oh, but nice reversal super.
So no, it is not going to be a 3-0. FishyFishy going to give us a 3-1. Going to give us another fight here in top 8.
Man, they are really going neck and neck here. Happy to see that FishyFishy is bringing this back. It was looking pretty rough in those first couple games, right, where Classified was just on the full offensive.
Duel 1.
All right, FishyFishy, I believe we get the Eno win. This is the start of something. A reverse 3-0 here. Classified. Into the 2S, H sword toss, but gets thrown by FishyFishy. We've been seeing, I think, FishyFishy try to go for a lot of these throw tags in response to those sword explosion as Classified gets close to FishyFishy, and looks like it finally in that position. You know, can be a little risky, but I mean, you just wanted to get as much damage as possible. And oftentimes what ends up happening is that those throws from Ramlethal are able to buy you so much time for those swords.
Quick round there for Classified, sitting at set point.
Counter hit low. That should be corner position here for FishyFishy. All right, also going to be getting burst back pretty soon as well. Red OC doesn't get a combo though.
All right, sending out the antidepressant scale, goes for the low option. Low again into the RC. Classified not gonna burst this one. The life difference is just too great.
And of course, we're gonna let the super rip. Keep it as simple as possible. Round apiece for both these players. FishyFishy looking to get us to a 2-2. We'll have to see. That's not a good way to start things off though. You know, the stroke trading places there with classified means that classified is much closer to the corner than we were before. Onto attempt, so that's going to leave us kind of like a deer in headlights as FishyFishy tries to establish pressure, but unfortunately not quite able to. A little too far out, so classified was able to just pretty safely press with an option like that 5 HP saw, and there's that throw tech incoming. Reversal super. Wire C.
Wire C.
BRC. Great tech on that air throw. Gold burst. So aggressive for classified.
Dash up throw. And thank you, Marty. I hear that a lot. Appreciate it. He's my favorite wrestler, actually. But here we go. Leapfrog.
Yeah, leapfrog, invite hell. Pretty standard start here for Poncho. But man, you just have so much health to work with here. Work against here with Goldlewis, as he can take a lot of these hits. Zato, however, cannot.
Oh, and gonna be able to combo off of the drone there too. Love that drone setup immediately into the overhead Behemoth Typhoon. So brutal. And now getting the massive counter hit. Knew that they weren't really gonna be able to combo off of it reliably. So opted just to set up the drone for more pressure. It looks like we might have caught. Yep, caught the backdash there at the Behemoth Typhoon. Saw the punish pop up on screen.
Here's the Pierce. He's second to the Pierce. RedIAmNot quite a bit here. That's gonna let Poncho get that early wall break once again. Okay, invite hell, 2S. Pretty standard stuff here. Overhead mix.
Oh,
okay,
nice!
Nice! I like that. The small jump into the drift, PRC to low crush the 2K attempt.
Really smooth stuff, mischievous stuff there. Ooh, and beautiful pickup, getting the burst out of RedIAmNot. Didn't want to get sent through the wall. Poncho would have gotten so much momentum off of that. Might have actually been an unwinnable round. But it still might be an unwinnable round at this point, unless the back throw into the drone. Beautiful timing on the deflect shield to make sure the Behemoth Typhoon whiffs.
And also just realizing which Behemoth RedIAmNot was trying to go for as well, right? Because depending on the Behemoth, it would have still connected with Poncho in that position. Oh no, we're not going to get burst back in time, are we? Oh, back to the throw! Oppose! Don't press those buttons! And RedIAmNot gets opened up by the overhead. Poncho! What a way to stage a comeback there against RedIAmNot. Put into a difficult position, put into what looked like checkmate, but a single backdash changed everything.
5 years later, and the back throw incident still lives. Game 1 here for Poncho. Let's see if we can ride that momentum to a lead against RedIAmNot. An even bigger lead, I should say.
Yeah, RedIAmNot always plays really well from behind. So while we do have that early game point lead against RedIAmNot, it is still not over. We still need to win 2 more to take this W and stay alive into this bracket. And things are not looking good because I think Zato's life expectancy has kind of come to an end here as RedIAmNot just immediately responds with a perfect.
I'm taking a look at this bracket, by the way. Every single match in top 8, other than one, has been a 3-1 set.
You think that's going to be the case again here?
I have no idea. I'm getting curious to see if the 3-1 curse lives on. But right now, Poncho has the lead. RedIAmNot looking to try and tie things up here. This pressure is relentless.
Yeah, Skyfish, and in this position, I think Poncho would have been in a pretty good spot to go for the air dash forward. But, yeah, no, we can't really set up Eddie really reliably here. RedIAmNot just putting out a lot of hitboxes on the screen to kill Eddie early and preemptively. And that's going to be a burst spent, but RedIAmNot still within range of Poncho. And look at that, just completely deleted from the game as RedIAmNot is now putting us at a 1-1. 3-2 incoming or 3-1 incoming?
And yeah, Zato is very executionally dense, chat, man. Negative edge character, really popularizing that kind of character, just the potential that negative edge has, where it's based on releasing the button. I agree, though. That's too much brain power for me as well. I will play my big counter hit character over that, but I'm glad they exist.
Yeah, no, Zato is definitely. I mean, like, even with all the new characters being added, I still want to say Zato's like top 5 execution, the heavy characters in the game. Like, he's definitely hard to play. And I think Zato players are once again starting to be rewarded again, because I think Zato is definitely looking a lot better than he was, you know, in recent patches.
No, I don't think Zato was the first negative edge character. I think, Chad will know, but I think it's Balrog, right? I want to say
ask me, that's for sure. Chat would probably know, but I'm not too sure.
Oh my god, but I am sure that Poncho is dead here.
Man, 3 rounds in a row here for RedIAmNot. Right? Yeah, I think it was 3 rounds. Pierce into the pose. A pose again, resetting it.
The burst, set up the drone.
Perfect. Just floating up right up there, so high up. And that's where 6P can be useful for Goldlewis, because like I said, it does reach up pretty high up vertically. But in terms of like BT options, you don't really have too much. Instead, it's like air to air is probably like more favorable. But Zato kind of just sits at like this awkward angle, like which side is he actually on?
Awkward about that perfect there, though, from Poncho, keeping pace here with RedIAmNot. Both players fighting for that extra cushion, that 2-1 lead. Is Poncho going to burst? Yes. Pops it immediately there. Little Eddie just gets shut down by the Behemoth Typhoon. But Poncho's so proficient with the Eddie-less pressure.
Some great 6P as well. Sometimes it can be scary trying to anti-air Goldlewis, but that 6P will do the job there. IP, Red RC. For the wall spot. No, it doesn't. This is not going to get the kill either. We don't have enough meter to go for the sword super, but Eddie is going to recover pretty fast here. Clash off the 6P, and we're feeling pretty confident about just going for a simple close slash anti-air on RedIAmNot. And now Poncho is getting that extra cushion. Like you said, 2-1 over RedIAmNot, reclaiming that lead. Things were looking really dicey with how RedIAmNot took 3 rounds in a row, but Poncho finally bringing it back, finally showing us how we took that game 1 and applying it here in game 2.
Now, Poncho, let's see if we can apply it to a 3rd game victory here to eliminate RedIAmNot from the bracket. On the verge, that would be a massive win here for Poncho. Obviously, RedIAmNot, a former TNS champion. Poncho making it as close as 2nd place, trying to make this their night leading into EVO this weekend.
And shoot, I could not have asked for a better character to see it on. Always love seeing Zato being played, or well, maybe we're not being able to play the game here. As the RedIAmNot gets multiple throws chained together. Is that dead? Stop.
Oh my god. Yeah, so next round here, Poncho still with burst fully available. There's the throw. Set up the throw.
No, not again.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. There wasn't 50 tension there.
Okay. Red RC. You're able to find something, burst, sets up the drone, but not going for Skyfish though. Now we go for the Skyfish right there. I like how we vary it up. We went for the drone first, then the Skyfish, because if we went for the Skyfish, obviously, you know, Poncho can go for that whiff punish. Okay.
That was a quick game 4,
yeah.
but we're taking it all the way to game 5. Sometimes Goldlewis, yeah, sometimes Goldlewis just kills you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes he just kills you until you're dead. But Zato's died and come back to life before. Let's see if Poncho can do it as well.
Okay. Yeah, 6P. Very confident with attempting to anti-air these aerial BTs from RedIAmNot. And once again, like sometimes it can be scary, but sometimes you have to go for it to deny RedIAmNot that airspace. But trying to anti-air an option like JD is always just going to be so difficult because of how big the weapon is. Don't have any gauge of Poncho creating that space, but not going so far to where RedIAmNot can safely set up a Skyfish or a drone. Invite Hell. Okay, has to hold the BT. Gets the throw, however. That's actually massive there for Poncho. 2S, catching RedIAmNot, trying to escape and create that distance again. But, oh man, we just had enough meter to get that combo extension, and without that burst, Poncho succumbs to their fate here. Okay, nice glide once again on RedIAmNot, making it very ambiguous of which side we're going to end up and which side to actually, which button to actually press to try and catch Poncho out of the air. This is looking like a Poncho round right now, but you don't want to breathe easy just yet. Drone is on the screen, Skyfish is on the screen, and the pose can only do so much.
Harassing here at the Beam of Typhoon's gonna go ahead and burst your YRC attempt. RedIAmNot just wants to close it out right here.
No!
Blocks the burst. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Poncho, you're alive! No! Poncho, you were alive!
We'll see a round start. Lasagna Slayer just sending out that coffin early. Not really going to do too much. Ondo also not really going to do too much. 6P going to clash with the coffin. A bit unfortunate there as Lasagna Slayer gets a weight on the skate for that aerial approach. That could be a perfect. It might very well be. No, not quite. 2K2D Daro. Man, 5H. Such a belligerent button. Reaching so far. Checking Lasagna Slayer. Trying to press a button. But he made the mistake of getting a little too close there to the Goldlewis without the sword being set.
What a wall break. Look at the damage on that.
TK2D, Daro once again. A solid parry there. Big shouts to Boston Bluebeat with the party of 61 here. Currently, we are watching some Guilty Gear strives. Goldlewis versus Ramlethal, and Lasagna Slayer going to be taking game number 1. Very quick, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how par course for how this top 8 has been going. The first game is usually incredibly fast, but then the players start adapting quickly, right? And then the matches start slowing down as we get deeper and deeper in. And shouts to Boston Bluebeat, by the way, coming through with the raid. Everyone make sure you go to Beach episode. Show some love to Boston Bluebeat.
More cool from their streams. It was Blaze Blue tonight, but I believe they're having plus R tomorrow and Under Night on Wednesday. I forget. I think it's Under Night and then plus R. Anyways, Classified was again taking a bit of a beating here from this Goldlewis. Great backdash though on that behemoth attempt, meaning that we were in the proper space to actually counter poke with that 5H. 5H again, but Lasagna Slayer ready for it, jumping right on over and getting that aerial BT to connect on Classified, giving Lasagna Slayer just enough an advantage to squeeze out that win.
Sage Yep, utilizing that guard crush just to go for the run up throw. Oh, but a beautiful 2K press.
Calling out that we weren't going to be finishing that Rekka sequence, so interrupting it with the 2K. 2K check once again on the first hit of the Rekka.
I'm telling you, some people were kind of dooming a little bit about the nerf Behemoth Typhoons going into 2.0, but the buffed normals are more than enough compensation for the character, making him a neutral monster.
Yeah, neutral monster indeed, because Lasagna Slayer has partly been put on defense by Classified as Lasagna Slayer puts up yet another game win. And shoot, at this point, I think we might be seeing the Giovanna come out. We'll have to see what Classified ends up locking into here, but you know, if there's any time to swap, now is the time. But it looks like we're going to be sticking to the Ramlethal for yet at least one more game here. Lasagna Slayer with a 2-0, looking to be our very first 3-0 of top 8 tonight. See, competitive to be the last game of this set. Here we go, Lasagna Slayer. Once again, going for a very similar round start to what we've been seeing before. Going for the low check in case Classified wants to approach with like a 5K, wants to approach with a Daro on round start. Just a really good job, really good way to kind of stuff out that early approach from Ramlethal and give us the space we need in order to work around those swords.
Getting sent through the wall though, close slash, positive bonus here for Classified now. Lasagna Slayer. Yeah, that's dangerous, but you know what? Comfortable because it was just a far slash attempt there from Classified.
I like how we're weaving in those jumps on that pressure as well, because that can also make it very tricky for Classified to actually want to mortal bother you. Great block on that overhead, by the way, as well, but we're not able to actually get that punished on that throw attempt from Classified. Lasagna Slayer still alive, but probably not for long. We don't have much meter, and we're not actually really FDing anything either. Got a little bit of a punish there from Classified, so I'm wondering what Lasagna Slayer tried to press. Well, I'm not too sure what we tried to press there. It definitely was an aerial button, though, because we got hit with that air throw. Classified getting that early knockdown, getting that early advantage, and starting to kind of box Lasagna Slayer out with these JSs.
Nice empty jump low. Going for the thrash up throw. Goes low again into the Mortabato for the hard knockdown. We're not looking for meter. We're looking for momentum.
And folks, it's never a 3-0, right? Burn it down, coming through. Lasagna Slayer pulling Classified into our range. Tries to go for a very cheeky dust, but Classified knows better.
Oh, goes for the reset in the corner! The reset! And the counter hit! No, saved by the bell. Saved by the wall. Saved by the wall. Just barely alive, but it's a hard knockdown.
What's it going to be? We have the meter for FT. This is going to be the throw into the 214H OTG. Classified. Got a little bit of a scare right there.
The wall saving Classified's life. If the wall did not break there, if there was one more hit, it was over.
All right. 2-1. I was like, maybe we'll see our first 3-0, but no. We are very tight in the competition tonight here. Game 4. Here we go. Lasagna Slayer. Early counter hit BT. That's exactly what Lasagna Slayer wants to see, especially with an early burst coming out from Classified, so that we can't even burst out of this sequence. Interesting 2K attempt right there, but Lasagna Slayer going to blow up that mash attempt from Classified in a big way here. Look at that health difference here.
Oh, big whip there on the Behemoth Typhoon. Nice punish from Classified. Still, big life deficit to try and close here. Lasagna Slayer needs to find one good poke, and there it is. BRC forward into the 6P. Set point.
Yeah, and that's what's so scary about instantly locking into an option post wall break, especially if your opponent has a meter to work with, because of the way you can BRC dread forward and catch your opponent locking into a button like forward slash. You saw right there. If anything, I want to press like 2K because that would have been a lot safer. Regardless though, Classified is not in a safe position. Burn it down, putting Classified in a really sticky situation.
What are we playing here? Oh, okay, okay. It took a second. Took a second for me to realize what song it was. But all right, back turn pressure immediately into the burster from SQ. Didn't want to get sent through the wall.
Okay, S sword from mid screen into the flip. Classic cross up from SQ. Ondo attempt, but wow, UMISHO backdashing, getting outside of that range and letting a fireball rip. Really good spacing, and being able to set that projectile up really just guaranteed that we won neutral in that position.
Ooh, and just absolutely mauled in the back turn stance while Jack-a-Dandy plays in the background. Not quite able to get that whip punish there, tried to dash in with the 5P.
Okay, S-sword toss once again into the throw, this time post-explosion. UMISHO just giving that ram pressure a lot of respect here, and you really have to. 2K2D once again. We do have one of our swords back, and that will be the S sword. So JS is going to be, once again, another great boxing normal to keep UMISHO at bay until we can get our other sword back. Not going to be enough damage to get the kill just yet, but SQ with quite the lead built up so far. Seeing some fireballs come out from UMISHO, but UMISHO going to start to push that aggression now that we are in SQ's face.
Okay, into the RC. Oh no. Zerker slash, it just goes for the reversal super. Shutting down just the wild offense.
H flash kick. Okay, interesting. Yeah, try to get that pressure reset off of the close slash, and SQ just very okay with pressing in that instance. Ondo catching UMISHO despite UMISHO advancing forward.
That tip of the range hard slash there too from UMISHO. UMISHO trying to stay outside of the long range pokes from SQ, and what a 5K into an RC. Is that the round? No, not quite.
No. Oh, if we supered, right? We should have been fine.
UMISHO just didn't have enough meter there to get the super, right?
Yeah.
It was the 5H that actually built up just enough. And I don't think they had time to dash a little bit to get the super and then execute the. Either way, though, still going to be able to close out another game here.
Yeah, and I also really like to, I wanted to talk about it a little bit before, but I didn't want to mention it until we actually saw it. UMISHO going for the, when you holding on to the far slash button after we press the button and it going to that parry stance. Just really good that guard point to kind of negate the threat of something like far slash coming out from SQ or that 5H as well. Negate the damage. And if SQ tries to follow with something like Daro, for example, then we'll just get hit. Okay, back turn. Oh, wow. We're just going to be able to get the combo right there. And instead of letting SQ fall out of the combo, we're going to finish it, getting that wall break. 2D into the dust RC.
Duel 2.
That was a quick round.
Yeah.
Lincoln, you missed it there. UMISHO. Oh no,
Well,
gonna get the whip punish there. Just going for the 5P, keeping it nice and simple.
Just pulling that stance once again, dissuading SQ from wanting to go for these far slashes, and instead having to rely more on those lows like the 2K or 2D or 2S if we have it. SQ has been holding onto the swords for the majority of this round, so we do have that as a longer reaching low option to deal with those stance guard points that UMISHO is holding on to. Flash kick, not gonna be enough damage here, but SQ has to hold on to FD for her life. But we're going to be chipped out. 214H going to be doing a decent amount of damage. Also a decent amount of corner carry as well. And there's that 2S that I was talking about coming through a much further reaching low that can catch UMISHO from further distances and continue to keep that pressure. Great comeback there from SQ despite being so low on health.
I know, that was incredible. 1 HP remaining on that health bar. UMISHO immediately with the run through. Overhead is going to connect. Into the last ride. Power bomb. Going for that flip as well. Trying to create that visual noise. Wow, flip air to air is kind of crazy.
ERC forward into the throw. And unfortunately, no pixel comeback will come from SQ this time, as UMISHO was in a position to find that final OTG hit.
Oh, wrong here. Who is going to stop the run of UMISHO tonight?
Yeah, so far, SQ has been putting up a decent fight, but unfortunately, just has not been able to close out any of these games. Was able to find some rounds here and there, but UMISHO still looking just so confident. H flash kick coming through, catching SQ post J214S, and there it is. If we try to go for that J214S, if we lock into that, UMISHO always has access to that guard point stance.
Oh, just taking him to the skies though. Low altitude air throw. Trying to use that guard point stance like you mentioned to prevent SQ from counter poking.
Okay, fireball. Running in with the close slash as well. And there it is, that 2S, that longer reaching low, because now it's so scary to try and rely on those far slashes. Also because UMISHO is advancing forward with these 60s as well.
Wall, very nice. UMISHO sitting on set point here. SQ gonna get burst back, but how she spends it is gonna be key.
Definitely want to hold on to it as long as possible, or in order to negate that backturn stance from Leo Whitefang. But if you can carry it on to this next round, that would be ideal. And SQ is looking to set up the stage for exactly that here. Far slash attempt. Not going to really do anything in that position. UMISHO going to take that opportunity to close that distance and get a wall break in response, sending us back to where we came from.
Oh, getting
PRC. I like that.
Oh no, but just the reversal super berserker barrage. 5k, 6k, 2k RC for the punish. SQ gonna try and carry this as far to the corner as possible.
S-Sword, 2k, 2D.
Staying alive for another round, but UMISHO having full burst going into this one. Immediately spends it.
Okay, this time going for the throw, but wow, UMISHO just ready for that throw tech. And you can see SQ trying to play around that guard point stance as well with the flip. Just didn't quite work out in that position that we saw earlier. And sort of mid-screen, so UMISHO backing out. SQ wanting to control that mid-screen because of the S-Sword presence, but UMISHO, yeah, I mean, just great spacing all around, getting around these buttons.
Not gonna be able to get the wall. Oh, actually does go for the wall break here. Thought for a second that UMISHO might actually hold on to the corner. Oh, just slide on in for the Mortabato. YRC possibly?
Okay, close slash again. Dang, pretty safe here. Throw tech attempt from UMISHO, maybe? Okay, we did get one of our swords, and that is S-Sword. So it's like a missile coming from above, coming from the heavens. Oh no, you have burst. And
that's gonna be it. SQ holding on to the burst. Venom, the phantom action.
We really just don't want to play the mirror, huh?
I understand, that's respectable. And I do feel like Venom actually doesn't do too badly in this matchup, right? Can really just kind of harass RedIAmNot, harass Goldlewis with those balls.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Lasagna Slayer is doing here. Setting up all these balls here on the screen and doing so much small pack of damage here on RedIAmNot as we are just continuing to control this screen space and prevent RedIAmNot from really advancing forward.
Picking up a perfect here, and there it is. Wonderful zoning from Lasagna Slayer here in this top four.
Okay, counter hit, that's really good. That's going to be able to get us set up. Counter hit, though, on the side of RedIAmNot looking a lot better. And this is where things get a little bit tricky here as Venom playing that defense against Goldlewis.
Oh, nice block of the overhead, but the backdash is going to get caught this time. And now there is nowhere to run. Unfortunate thing for Venom. I do got no reversal.
Yeah, no reversal. And also just doesn't I don't think his 6P is nearly as crazy as it used to be, right?
No, he's had Exert 6P is like the best 6P in Guilty Gear.
It was so good. Like, it's so funny because, like, sometimes Venom players will be like, oh yeah, I don't have a reversal, but like, dude, your buttons are crazy. All right, Dark Angel coming out yet again.
Robo-Kai with the alley-oop.
Great round. Oh, I was about to say great round going to Lasagna Slayer, but RedIAmNot still alive. But we're just going to BRC right into the 2P.
I love this guy, Robo-Kai, man. Paragon coming through with the raid. Y'all are just in time for a little bit of Venom action here. Lasagna Slayer up 1.
That was honestly up 1 with the Venom. Man, it always seems like RedIAmNot loses like the first game and then just like reverse 3-0s people. RedIAmNot is inflating the sizes of the length of our brackets. But this is a lot harder, I would say, compared to other zoners for sure. Because unlike Axel, this is a projectile-based zoner. And so, for similar reasons like Happy Chaos was so good against Goldlewis, Venom also is blessed with being able to, safely pressure Goldlewis from further away. Definitely not nearly on the same level as Happy Chaos, or at least how Happy Chaos used to be. But, still very close.
Very strong round there for RedIAmNot. Once you get in, it is hard for... I was about to say hard Slayer. Hard for Venom to actually get you off.
Yeah, so we're just going to be popping all of these stingers here on RedIAmNot to make sure that we don't even have... So we never have to be in that position where we have to worry about getting RedIAmNot off of you.
Now just running the offense here, harassing with the Q5. Here comes the laser. Oh, yeah, not a lot of hits done on those balls, so able to just go for the 6P. The Lasagna Slayer doing a good job avoiding the laser altogether, still stuck in the clutches type Typhoon, but not for long.
Yeah, just going to pop that Dark Angel in response to the Skyfish, and that is just going to be that big wall that RedIAmNot is going to dump all of that lead into. Yes, that is, for everyone, that is literally just a pose, like Eddie a pose, but it doesn't die, ever.
Pretty much. Staying out of range, Q5 once again. Stinger is going to get jumped over.
Again, checking RedIAmNot with those balls, but we still get caught by the burn it down, and that's going to let RedIAmNot squeak out that health advantage.
Relax, chat, all right? The only person Venom's trying to get off is Zato, okay? He's spoken, so relax.
I'll let you have your time with chat.
I like chat.
I like chat too. They sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, Zato's familia, all right? All right, trying to go for the same side JH.
Oh my god. Yeah, we just floor is lava in that at that moment right there. I don't know if Lasagna Slayer really registered that RedIAmNot set up that drone there, or we're hoping that we hit the Goldlewis and we go far enough with the dive to avoid that drone entirely. Either way, we're able to get that wall break, so we're definitely not in the worst position. We have that positive bonus. We have 200 meter, so not feeling pretty comfortable about popping that wire seat right there in that moment. Now going to be popping that Dark Angel as well to try and win a neutral, despite the fact that that burn it down is coming from behind. Robo-Kai going to be providing that support as well here, as Lasagna Slayer is able to regain control here of neutral.
So that was kind of genius, actually. Able to get the air throw and just get the one little hit on Dark Angel. That one hit is what triggered Robokai to come in for the follow-up.
Dark Angel coming in once again here. And RedIAmNot just stuck between a rock and a hard place there. Lasagna Slayer now threatening a game number 2 win.
Pressing upon landing there. That was ballsy of Lasagna Slayer. Sending out more balls here. 2P anti-air, the bionic elbow, the American dream.
Drone is now active. I love that air stall from Lasagna Slayer and the dive as well, catching RedIAmNot. Now that we have RedIAmNot in the corner, we can kind of just do whatever we want. It feels like wall break, gain that positive bonus, gain that 100 meter.
A lot of carcass raid pressure once you get into the corner. Now just trying to avoid the laser, but you put yourself into the corner, bursting the gold burst, trading resources for resources just to get the win here with the down with the system.
Yeah, I also feel like Lasagna Slayer may have been contemplating that burst, but wanted to delay it, and RedIAmNot so willing to immediately pop that super because it was guaranteed to kill in that moment. Lasagna Slayer, though, still having that burst available will be important going into this next round, because if you let that Goldlewis have that early advantage, things get really scary. And as a zoner, having that burst to send Goldlewis to full screen and put you into your ideal range is always going to be good to have.
Oh, catching the backdash there with the close slash. Very active close slash, but now we're sending out the Dark Angel once again. Go! Robokai, hold down neutral versus the laser. Oh my god, it just deleted it. I've never seen that interaction. I was very curious as what was going to happen.
All right, we're going to be able to gain enough meter for another Dark Angel pretty soon here if we choose to go for it, which we absolutely will. I mean, it is your win and neutral button right there.
For that 2D, but the air carcass raid gonna get the second game here for Lasagna Slayer.
Dude, Dark Angel is drone level 4. That's what it is.
Kind of is. Level 4.
Yo, if Venom was a real, honest, hardworking man that enjoys the challenge of fighting his opponents, he should give them a pool stick too. They should be allowed to like. They should be allowed to like hit the Dark Angel back.
Venom does not care about honesty and fairness. Venom is an assassin. It's the least fair you can get. Well, former assassin, current baker.
True.
But is there much of a difference? Is there much of a difference?
I don't know how to answer that. Is there much of a difference?
I don't know, chat. You answer that question.
Baker and assassin? Yeah, I guess, yeah, chat will be the one to answer it, but I know for sure that Lasagna Slayer is not playing nice with that Dark Angel right there. However, RedIAmNot was in a perfect position to jump right on over. And Lasagna Slayer not able to fully check RedIAmNot in that position.
Oh no, backdash getting caught. And I think, yeah, you're dead on that one. No, not quite. There's no health in that health bar. Lasagna Slayer is dead.
We're going to be able to get that throw, though. No, FD all the way through.
Oh, got crossed up.
Oh, no, that's just Chipp.
No, it was Chipp. Okay.
I guess we just... Oh, it's because of the... No, it's... No, wait.
It took all the meter. It was holding FD and it took all the meter.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I was like thinking, I was about to say like, oh, we did a cross and we can block the other way, but I forgot that's just true block strings. That doesn't even make sense. Speaking of FD, RedIAmNot using a lot of that meter for FD here, but it's really not amounting to too much because we're opting to FD a lot of these blue balls rather than the normals. And because that Lasagna Slayer is not really terribly worried about being pushed far out. always in like a pretty decent spot afterwards.
Ooh, a little mad struggle action there at round start. I will say the rounds that Lasagna Slayer has been winning have been pretty overwhelming. Multiple perfects so far in this set. Now sitting at set point with full burst, but eats a 6P. Oh, the late first. Immediately into some stinger pressure, setting up Dark Angel once again. Go, my child, hold down neutral.
Burn it down, go my child, hold it down on neutral.
Who can skip neutral harder?
I love the interaction between these two players, Jobber. The fact that whenever Lasagna Slayer pops Dark Angel, RedIAmNot is popping Burn It Down.
Oh, and gonna pop that Behemoth Typhoon to take it all the way to a game 5 here in this losers fine. Oh, not losers. My God, I thought we were already in losers finals. This is losers semis.
No, we're not. We are not, Jobber. You know how these nights go. Okay, game number 5. Like you said, one more to go. These characters are playing Pokemon. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I'll probably come with like an ultra specific comparison pretty soon here. But regardless, Lasagna Slayer is just, oh my God, we're just doing the same move over and over again until RedIAmNot chooses to adapt to it. And after we lost about 30% of our health, does RedIAmNot change up that approach?
Oh no, but running right into the gun. 51 hits, count them.
Okay. That's not gonna land, is it?
No. Nope.
We didn't even get a punish. What? Hello? Red RC keeping it going, and yeah, with the dust.
That should be the round here with the wall splat. Q5 gonna do it once again. Lasagna Slayer sitting at set point.
All right, JD coming through. No anti-air from Lasagna Slayer, getting opened up by it. Not going to get opened up by the overhead BT, however, just going to hold this pressure. It looks like right here. Ah, there it is. Overhead coming through once again with that JD. Wall splat into wall break with the down with the system there. Lasagna Slayer alive, but just barely. Force RedIAmNot to spend that burst. I think we'd be pretty happy in this round. Even if we don't get the win. Spending this meter on the other super, however. Very interesting though, going for that one instead of securing neutral with Dark Angel, but it did end up working by pushing RedIAmNot into the corner and tack on that extra damage that we wouldn't have done otherwise.
Oh, mad struggle. Trying to go for that 5K big
one. Backdash. Dark Angel.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Oh, no. You're right. We had to get the throw. We had to get the throw.
Oh, my God. Oh, but there's the back throw. I honestly thought that the startup of the Dark Angel was going to be a little too long and the laser was going to hit.
I was saying he was dead because he had like no more meter left. But yeah, no, I think it's because also we choked because of the way we ran up as well. We gained enough meter to actually survive all the hits there. But wow, no, the throw really was the play right there from RedIAmNot. Catching Lasagna Slayer. And Lasagna Slayer! Holy
that dash
moly.
up 2H hit raw. Okay, Lasagna Slayer. Okay, blocking, able to backdash once again. The Behemoth Typhoon bar slash into Q5. 5D RC, mad struggle.
The blocks.
Struggle again. And another perfect Lasagna Slayer closing it out and taking down RedIAmNot. Go, the Phantom.
All right, I love how SQ has immediately adapted to Lasagna Slayer's play right there, opting to just go for these JPs, jail out Lasagna Slayer in the air because Lasagna Slayer wants to be approaching with those dives as a way to mix up SQ and keep that pressure up. It's a really good heads-up play from SQ really starting things off.
Be a burst.
There it is. Look at that
Air carcass raid.
That's AS. See, you want to be so careful. You want to toss out these pool balls, but if you're within range of that far slash SQ, it's just going to blow you up. Not kill just yet. If we red RC'd, it would have, but also burst would have been a factor then too. Lasagna's there, definitely going to be holding on to this burst, however, and will definitely be holding on to that burst without any option to otherwise, because we got closed out by that 5k right there. SQ getting a really good round start here. 6H hit, burst comes out from Lasagna Slayer, setting up the screen with his pool ball. 6P attempt from SQ, hoping for that aerial approach from the Lasagna Slayer, but Lasagna Slayer going to be holding back for just a little bit longer.
They get the throw here. Robokai coming in for the assist. Went for the empty low. Low was a little delayed there, though. SQ was able to react to it. Love the delay with the mad struggle that JD beat up Carcass Raid a bit, by the way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I like
jumped out for free.
Okay, Dark Angel finally coming out now. And SQ going to have to respect it. First comes out. We're going to be able to get H sword back here. Jumping over the Ondo. Still, once again, be careful, because if you're in that far slash range, things become spooky. But now we don't have to worry about far slash at the moment. No, we will have to worry about it. SQ opts to go for that wall break and reclaim both of the swords.
Oh, deflect shield, but still locked down. The second explosion coming. Oh, no way! No way! Not the anti-Venom tech to BRC forward and punish the Q5. Yeah, just swap back to Goldlewis.
Yeah, and we also saw like some small adaptations coming in from Lasagna Slayer, you know, popping in the cue ball and using that as a way to back up our dive approaches coming in on Ramlethal. Because Ramlethal has been showing that, yeah, we're going to anti-air, we're going to JP it, so preventing SQ from wanting to do that was smart, but it's just really tough playing into that matchup. So Lasagna Slayer going to opt into the Goldlewis, instead go into the characters that worked before.
I do not blame Lasagna's Slayer. The moment that I saw that BRC forward to make the Q5 whiff, I was like, yeah, you just gotta go back to Goldlewis at this point. Not that Lasagna Slayer was playing bad, because they were not. Just that level of anti-character knowledge against a character who's still kind of weak, right?
Right, far slash, 5H, Ondo. Still not an easy matchup here for Lasagna Slayer, but with a back throw like that, we're really just set up for success. And with that YRC, SQ just handing Lasagna Slayer the check and saying, let's just go to round 2.
JH hitting here. You know, as chat put it so eloquently earlier in the night, Venom, you have to press so many buttons to win, right? Goldlewis, press very little buttons to win.
Very little buttons to win. Well, do we count all the buttons we had to press for Behemoth to actually come out as a lot of buttons?
I mean, if you're playing on a lever, that's one button for Behemoth.
I suppose so. I suppose you're right.
Saying?
But no, these Goldlewis players, they play on hitbox instead.
I cannot imagine playing Goldlewis on a hitbox, to be honest with you.
I cannot imagine playing on a hitbox.
Same! You have to pry my stick from my cold, dead hands. Here we go, jumping straight into game number 3 here.
Interesting. I don't think the 5H was intentional there from Lasagna Slayer. I mean, it did get buffed, but, you know, 5H round start is generally not what you want to see against Ramlethal. Right?
Duel 2.
SQ was a very dominant round for that one right there. Okay. Behemoth going to connect, counter hit there on SQ, going to be a decent grip of damage, as we can see 214H coming out from SQ to push Lasagna Slayer out. Oh, okay. We just jumped right into the Skyfish. I'm wondering if we were trying to go for a dash. I'm not too certain. Either way, we didn't block it. We got hit with a knockdown, and Lasagna Slayer able to encroach on SQ's personal space now 2K 2D, S sword from above, and there's going to be the flip cross up yet again. It's so hard to block that one. It really is just a move.
On the Behemoth Typhoon, hitting its mark here. Lasagna Slayer keeping pace.
Once again, 5H round start. I'm not too sure what we're trying to call out with that, if that is intentional.
Trying to harass that bar slash, find anything to hit.
Okay, blocking Honda there. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Lasagna not enough.
Said I'm tired of playing footsies. I'm just sending the laser.
Like, I'm tired of you pressing buttons. I want you to respect my pressure. And unfortunately, SQ is not going to be taking that laser, sitting down there. And we're going to be pushing this gas all the way. 6P connection. Not going to be able to get that wall break. Bit of an awkward hit there, but still in a very good spot. H sword into Ondo. Danger state for SQ, but we have so much health to work with. And Lasagna Slayer was looking a bit worse for wear in terms of the resource game. Only 100 meter and hardly even had 50 burst, or half of our burst gauge for like a deflect shield if we opted to go for that as well.
Now on the verge of getting the run back.
Yeah, these round starts are looking really tough. I really don't believe these 5Hs are intentional from Lasagna Slayer. I think we're really just misinputting our BTs. 2P Clash, I think, was it 2P Clash with 214S or JK? One of those buttons. Either way, there it is. Counter hit, 5H, going to work there. Lasagna Slayer, once again, has had enough with neutral. Burn it down and just letting that overhead behemoth rip on SQ.
And the wall break. Look at this comeback here from SQ. 5H10 out the sword. BRC, you're still stuck though, and that's gonna be blocked. Oh, whiffed indeed. Now set point.
Yeah, even better. 5K, 6H. See a punish right there. 5H going to poke Lasagna Slayer from a little further out. Counter hit Behemoth. Finds another small hit there with that 2K during that combo. Drone set up. Ooh, okay. H sword. TP checking the backdash from SQ. And that should be a mid-screen knockdown here.
Nice, the neutral jump! Neutral jump, Jade.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Start. Whoa, the clash. Lasagna Slayer ready every single time for the clash. Send out another Typhoon. Is always buffering another one.
Yeah, there it is once again. Seeing that clash right there. It's really good to do as well, right? You know, if there's any character that can really abuse those clash cancels, it is Goldlewis.
Yes.
GD, no swords on the side of SQ. Yeah, those are very committal air dash for BT. I feel like we can just generally play a little more safe grounded here against Ramlethal. Ramlethal going to be getting both swords back. However, we do have that S sword, which is going to be way more important than the H sword, but H sword is also back as well.
Oh, trying to go for the JD, but the JH hitting its mark.
And
oh,
there is the flip cross up. Is this going to be enough? No, it is not. Lasagna Slayer is still alive. Probably the reflection into the put it down. And we find the throw.
What a throw there from SQ. SQ to close it out 3-1.
These sets, despite, you know, some players getting games on UMISHO. UMISHO just looking as solid as ever with this character. But we're going once again back to what I usually think is an even matchup here on paper between these two characters, both having pretty strong tools and not really having any completely dominating move that overpowers the other character. Hey, those jumps can be tricky, but SQ really on top of those throws. Not throws, these, sorry, my butt. Really on top of those blocks to play defense against them.
Nice the BRC. Into the 5K knockdown. Patience there from UMISHO as well, just trying to look for those whiff punishes. This time staying very close after the RC.
Have access to S sword, doesn't have access to H sword, threw it all the way to the other side, and now SQ is like, okay, the idea now is that we have to get as close to the other corner as possible, especially what we saw with that Rekka PRC as well. UMISHO, one touch away. SQ also pretty close to death here, and that throw will be enough to seal the deal. OTG just for good measure.
Trying to go for that dash up 6B. Big whiff punish there from SQ. Now getting control of the corner. 5D. Blue beat combo here to get the wall break and the positive bonus.
Taking the knockdown off of the H flash kick here from UMISHO. Holding that stance there on the J214S. But I love that SQ breaking the guard point with that red RC cancel. Slash 5H sword toss being sent out, but in response, UMISHO locking into that flash kick. Being predictable with those sword tosses means that Leo does have that in the back pocket to interrupt you in the process. But you know, Ramlethal, once again, very fearful character with her pressure, can work around those defensive options if UMISHO favors one over the other. Throw coming through. Back turn, and we just walk up for another throw.
That was actually so smart, especially because we went a little deep in with that dash, right? SQ, the mental stack just too high, thinking of blocking the left, right, waiting to see what UMISHO was going to do. So just catching you with the throw, a great way to close out that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. UMISHO with one game on the board here in grand finals. Things are already not looking the best here for SQ. We'll see what SQ can do. However, if we can deny UMISHO another 3-0, we'll have to see 2K, 2D gain that early knockdown into the back turn stance, and also getting a small damage right there as well with those with that low opening into the H back turn stance. Back turn stance once again here into the super. Both these players, both these characters especially, have been historically good over the course of this entire game's lifespan. Never really fell. Yeah, both these characters never fell out of top tier, or at the very least, never fell out of high tier. There it is, flash kick coming through once again. UMISHO with nothing to lose.
Oh, the burst getting blocked. UMISHO trying to run away with this.
UMISHO trying to catch up with sleep here as UMISHO gets yet another game. That was genuinely a blink or you miss it game, as UMISHO with a perfect prevents SQ from interacting with her at all.
Now this might be the last game to interact. If UMISHO has anything to say about it, trying to close this out 3-0. Again, cement total domination here ahead of EVO Las Vegas.
Yeah, man, and what a great tournament this has been so far, showcasing what we could see going into next weekend's festivities. So excited to catch up with Eva, whether watching it live or watching after the fact, catching up on those pools, top 48, top 8, whatever it may be. So many strong players showing up, and so many strong players have shown up tonight here. Let's hope that we can end off this grand finals with a bang. Let's see if we can get some games here at SQ, as UMISHO once again is just looking unstoppable, as she is just playing out of her mind. Flash kick, getting some early damage right away, but getting that knockdown there. 2S coming through. Okay, there it is. Now getting the knockdown that we're looking for the back turn stance to get activated for 3. And with that, that's going to be so much damage on SQ already. SQ creating that distance, /5H Ondo. But UMISHO constantly just outside of that range as well. Oh.
Another dominating round here for UMISHO. Set point. Burst gone off the table for both players, but most importantly, burst gone here for SQ.
Sword toss coming through. /5H. 5H going to whiff. 2K2D counter hit. That's exactly what SQ wants to see in this moment. I love the combo ring as well. 6H to get us into the corner so that the H sword will connect and get that wall slide into the wall break. SQ finally getting around on the board and with a perfect as well. Also notably, we are past that 50, past that half gauge there on the burst. We'll be getting burst back pretty soon. You do not see that command grab often at all.
No, not really. But look at this, into the wall break. Oh my god, SQ has burst left. Are you even gonna get a chance to spend it? There's the back throw. 5P mash.
We're holding out for that burst, however. SQ getting to maintain that burst. /slash getting the counter hit. No burst bait coming out from SQ, but that will be enough. The aerial buttons coming in from Leo Whitebank from downtown as SQ is out of this tournament. UMISHO on top here for TNS Guilty Gear Strive.